All right, y'all. excuse me. Excuse me. Is a tough. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? All right. Welcome. Everybody who's here. Um, Once again, it's the Better Black Life podcast. We trying to make it happen. We trying to make this thing grow it into a place where people can come for the truth. Brother Jarvis will join us in just a minute, and eventually we'll put the link out to whoever wants to come up. Today's topic is going to be Victim Olympics 2. I did one on Victim Olympics earlier this week, and we're going to go into it. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about the Victim Olympics, who's running it, and who's in it, and who's winning, and who's losing, and all of that good stuff. All right, y'all, so let's get right to work. Coming up, news, hit parade, Black History Minute, Your Money, etc. Okay, well, today we're not going to start with the news because I had an issue with the printer, so I'm just going to go straight to the hit parade. We're going to get this thing moving real quick. Chicago Park supervisor resigns amid accusations of SCX misconduct. I think I did this story already, so you know what? I think we're going to move past the hit parade today. We're going to skip the hit parade. Sister G, you in the house. What's going on, Sister G? I see you there. I see you and Brother D. I know y'all there. And I know Brother D will probably come up sooner or later. All right. Good to see y'all. Good morning. Good morning, everybody that's filing in. Good morning. Like I said before, we're not gonna do the news today or the hit parade. I think I used both of those stories last time. I have an issue with my printer trying to print up some stuff, so I gotta get that together. So let's just go to the Black History Minute. Y'all good with that? Let's just go to the Black History Minute. The Black History Minute. Do y'all know how NASA was able to get to the moon? Well, they were able to get to the moon because they had a lot of different scientists that were working on the mathematical computations that allowed their spacecraft to get there. One of the ladies that was one of the mathematicians that was on the case was a lady named Katherine Johnson. She was, I forgot the name of the film. The name of the film is Hidden Figures. She was played by Taraji P. Henson in the film Hidden Figures, where they had all of these black MIT graduates doing all of these computations out there. Okay, here we go with Brother Jarvis here. Brother, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, yes, sir. We're talking about excuse me. Oh man, something in my throat. We're talking about the sister Katherine Johnson. You know who she is?
No, sir.
Okay, she was one of the mathematicians. She was one of the mathematicians that allowed the United States government to put their spacecraft into orbit or put their spacecraft on the moon.
Yeah, I heard her.
Yeah, and Taraji B. Henson paid her in the movie called Hidden Figures. Right?
Okay.
Anyway, let me read a little bit about her. Neil Armstrong, one step for man may not have happened without this woman. Just weeks after Katherine Johnson began a position as one of Langley Research Center human computers in 1952, supervisors transferred to summa cum laude, West Virginia State College graduate with degrees in both mathematics and French from the African American Computing Pool to the Flight Research Division. There, Johnson performed the NASA calculations that made it possible the manned space missions of the early 1960s, as well as the 1969 moon landing. Even astronaut John Glenn put his full faith in Johnson, requesting she redo all the electronic computer calculations before he embarked on 1962 Earth orbits. Glenn has been quoted as remarking, "If she says they're good, then I'm ready to go." Wow. Wow. I didn't even know that. Did you know that, brother?
No, sir. No idea.
Like the Tuskegee Airmen, they're saying, "Hey, if she say it good, then we're good." You know what I mean? Kind of like
Right.
God. If God said it good, we good. If God said we good, we good.
Right. Right.
Man, sister did so much. Sharing the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and got it from Obama. She had, man, there's so much stuff I could go into, man, but we ain't got the time for me to read her whole situation here. But I just want to go into some of the things she accomplished. Awards. She got so many: honorary Doctor of Law, honorary Doctor of Science, honorary Doctor of Science from Old Dominion, Presidential Medal of Freedom, Silver Snoopy Award, Astronomical Society of the Pacific's Award, Presidential Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters from West Virginia, Langley West Computing Unit NASA Group Achievement Award, Virginia Air and Space Center Award, Daughter of the American Revolution Award, Medal of Honor, Honorary Doctor from Spelman College, Honorary Doctor of Science from College of William and Mary Williamsburg, University of Johannesburg, and Facility Science, conferred Johnson with the degree of Philosophy Doctor Honoris Causa for her pioneering role at NASA, Congressional Gold Medal, National Women's Hall of Fame. Sister was dope, man, and I mean, I barely scratched the surface on her. You need to go check her out, Sister Catherine Johnson, and don't just take our word for it. Dig that. Go look her up for yourself, man. Much more on that. What do you think about that, brother?
No, my sister collects Barbie dolls,
Yeah.
and for some reason, I ordered a couple of dolls from the Barbie collection called the Inspirational Women, and that particular doll, Katherine Johnson, is out there, but it's the highest one to get. I've been waiting for the price to go down, but actually the price went up. So it didn't dawn on me the name Katherine Johnson until you said, then it hit me, you know. So like I said, she's the one that I don't have right now because they got four sisters, and she's the one I don't have right now. Yeah, sister, I've never seen the movie, but I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a good movie, and it just shows the power of the minds in our community, man. You know what I mean? We put our mind to something, we could do it. Remember remember when the deficit was so high, and in Torchlight to America, where the minister had made a book called Torchlight to America, and he was saying in that book that all the black accountants got together and showed the U.S. government how they could balance their budget, but they wouldn't listen. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't listen. And it was like, man, you know what I mean? You complaining about the budget being high, but the best of us got together and showed you how you can balance this budget and still do all the stuff you're trying to do. But that's a story for another. But yeah, you guys go out there and check out Sister Katherine Johnson, her story, and man, I'm telling you, man, I got like 10 pages here. I just cannot go over everything she's done. But anyway, dig that. We got to move on. let's see. Oh, we got a comment here from Brother Daniel. Brother Daniel, peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings, Brother D. I appreciate you, man. This brother, I don't know if you saw it, Brother Jarvis, but this brother, man, came on and did a presentation earlier this week with me on getting unsecured lines of business credit. What can I say, brother? The brother just knocked it way out of the park, brother. Knocked it way out of the park. Anybody interested in doing business, even if you're not interested in doing unsecured loan, you should at least listen to the brother, man. The brother can kind of guide you in the right way how to finance your business if you're trying to put your business together, and try to and show you how to keep it separate. Everything separate. Keep your personal situation separate from your business situation. The brother's awesome, brother. Brother got 30 something years in the mortgage game, in business period, man. He just awesome. It was an awesome presentation. Thank you, Brother D. Appreciate you doing that. We got to do another one real soon. So you just let me know when you're ready. But anyway, yeah, man. All of y'all out there, y'all got to go check that out. Go check that out. It's called How to Obtain Unsecured Loans. Unsecured Business Lines of Credit. Awesome presentation. Awesome presentation. Anyway, brother, let's move on down the line. Let's go because we got a heavy topic to get with, man. I might have done this job before, but I'm gonna do it again. Database administrator. What is a database administrator? Fine tune, upgrade, test modifications to databases as needed. With information so readily available in this area of apps, tablets, social media, data has become the new treasure organizations must protect and cherish more than anyone else. Data administrators are relied on as guardians of this treasure, implementing security measures to ensure sensitive data does not fall into the hands of unruly pirates, while also managing databases of the that help store and organize it. Yes, I don't know if are you familiar with a app called Twitch?
No, sir.
Okay, well, it's the app that the youngsters are using now, and that they just cracked that code, man. They cracked that thing. So all of the money that the people are making out there is on Twitch. All of the they're making memes of Jeff Bezos. They cracked that thing Twitch. They cracked it wide open, man. They can actually print out who all is making all the money, or they put it up who's making the most money out there. Yeah, they did it. But anyway, how much does a database administrator make? Database administrators make a median salary of $93,750. The best paid 25% made $120,880 that year, while like 2019. While the lowest paid 25% made $68,340. How to become a database administrator? Employers usually require a bachelor's degree in computer-related fields such as computer science, management, information systems, although some favor applicants with a master's degree in business administration with a concentration in information systems. Database administrators are often certified for a specific database platform, such as MySQL, Database Manager, Oracle DBA, and Microsoft Certified Database Administrator. So, if you know somebody out there, you know a youngster out there looking for a job, let's point these youngsters in the direction of the STEM situation, right? What does the STEM stand for, Brother Jarvis?
Science, technology. I know the M is for mathematics.
Yes, sir.
What is the E for? I forgot.
Engineering, brother. Engineering.
Science, technology, engineering. And
yes,
we
sir.
need more engineers.
And the C is for communication. We need more. Yeah, we need more engineers. But that's STEM is where the jobs are going. STEM is where you're going to be able to write your own ticket. If you're a good person working in the STEM field, you're going to be able to write your own ticket. Nobody's going to be able to stop you. No way. No way. Let's get to some of our comments. Snuggles, I see you too. We see you too. Glad to have you back. Brother D. Thanks, Brother C. I got you, and we will talk soon. I know we will, Brother D. I'm waiting on you, man. We can make it happen, man. You knocked it out of the park that last presentation. Just waiting for you put another one together. Um, let's see. Where we at now, brother? Where we at? We at our lead topic, man. We at our lead topic, man. Oh, there we go. We got our lead topic. Okay, brother. I got to ask you a question. Hold on. Let me get this down. Let me get this banner down here. I got to ask you a question. Are black people running a victim Olympics?
Explain. Well, victim that we do the most complaining, or are we the most victimized? I mean, what exactly is the victim Olympics?
Point. That's my point. It's not defined, right? People, different people define
Okay.
different ways. But let me get the closest I can estimate what they're talking about. A lot of times they're saying because we're asking for the government to do what they said that it was going to do for us. We're running a victim Olympics, and so I'm trying to figure out how are we running a victim Olympics? Like how if you say you're going to give me $5 and I ask you for that $5 that you said you're going to give me, and then when I ask you, you say, "Quit running the victim Olympics." I said, "Wait a minute! You told me you was going to give me that $5. I'm not. I wouldn't be asking you for it if you didn't tell me you was going to give it to me." That's my position.
Well,
I don't know what your position is
let's
on
also
that.
no. Well, let's also put there. When I asked you for that $5, that was $5. I didn't ask you to give it to me. That's $5 you owe me.
Right.
You know. So let's get that straight. A lot of times when they put that out there, victim Olympics, that's a play on words, and it's they also come at us as if, like you say, I'm asking you for money, my $5 that you owe me,
Right.
and an old trick. It's kind of like a woman. See, if you ask somebody for money that they, and then what you you ask for your own money, that's a trick. They
Right.
want you to feel bad for asking for money.
Right.
So when you
I'm
use this term,
asking you for my money. That's my money, right?
yeah,
I'm asking you for my
right,
money, but you making it
right,
sound like I'm asking you for something that don't belong to me.
right, right. So when they use the term victim Olympics, again, it's a play on words to where they want you to feel guilty or they want you to feel
Right,
bad about something that's already owed to you.
right.
But if you ever notice, it seems to come down to black folks or our community because there's a certain community out there, and out of respect for your show, I'm not going to name a certain group that
Hey,
gets
go ahead,
paid,
name them.
kicked
I
down.
named them last time. Name whoever. I already named them, brother. Go ahead. We're not holding back.
Well,
As long as we not
well,
being we not encouraging no violence against nobody. We just telling the truth here.
right. Well, if you look at it, it never is violence, but there are certain groups that you can't say anything about, you know,
True, true
even
indeed.
if it's the truth. So, like the coach for the Raiders, Gruden, I didn't read the texts, I didn't read the emails. I don't know what he said. I already said some things about black folks, but you know, it's not like we shouldn't have seen the cost of the subject. Like I said, when it comes down to the Olympics, it's a play on words, and again, getting back to where I was going, there's a certain group that gets paid a lot of money, you know,
There's
and what
many
that money is
groups.
called,
Many groups.
rep-
Many groups.
okay, mini group, right? They get paid reparations. You know, you have groups out there that during World War I and two up because America went to war with China, and they locked up the Chinese. Well, once they got out of jail or out of prison, they didn't even do anything. They were born in America. They were Americans.
Right.
China, they locked them up.
The Japanese,
But when they
brother.
got out and it was over, it was the Japanese. Okay, the Japanese. After they got out, you gave them what, you know, and you should have gave them that. They were really Americans. But nobody has suffered at all or worse than we have. But if we say anything, you in the victim Olympics.
See, that's what I said
So
earlier, brother. I said on the other video I did. When white people ask for stuff for white people, they're patriotic. When we ask for stuff for black people, we're racist. We're victims. We want to be in the victim Olympics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm saying we get caught up in the semantics. We get caught up in the semantics of the situation. Let me catch up on these chats real quick, brother. I'll let you finish. It wasn't victim Olympics when a white man holding people back. Man, it's never victim Olympics, right? It's never victim Olympics when white people doing anything. Just like I said on the earlier video, I talked about how the Jewish people get billions of dollars from the U.S. government today, right now, today. Every year they get money from the U.S. government, guns, weapons, and all kind of different things from the U.S. government. But what happened to them happened 80 years ago, 70, 80 years ago. But they still getting everything. They never say, no, we don't want to be running the victim Olympics. We don't want those billions of dollars. Same thing with the Japanese. Those 2 bombs they dropped on the Japanese was 80, 70, 80 years ago. They still giving the Japanese billions of dollars. Matter of fact, the Japanese, they told them, hey, you don't have to have a Navy. We'll defend your coastline. We will defend your coastline as the U.S. government. But I'm trying to figure out who's winning in this victim Olympics. Let me do one more, brother. Let me do one more. Brother Daniel, victim Olympics. We need to find out who coined the term in the first place. I'm sure they don't look like us, and we should be cognizant of people creating terms and attaching them to us. Yeah, bro, it's just they coin a term and then they filter it off to the Negroes they know that's going to trumpet it out to us, and then next thing you know, it's running around our community and we're using it, and we don't even know what we're talking about. So true indeed, brother D. True indeed. All right, brother Jarvis. I'm sorry, man. Cut you off. Go ahead, man. Finish your thought.
No. Like no problem. Like Brother D said, of course, it wasn't us who coined the term. Of course, it wasn't us who made it up. One, we're more clever than that. But victim Olympics. I mean, it's silly. Like you say, anytime we ask for what's mine,
Right.
because it's not like you have an illustrator. It's not like because it's the right thing to do. When you have wronged a person to help work off some of your sins, you try to right it with what is called what in America reparations. But it's funny every time it comes down to black people, you never want to right that bad in our community that they were writing the textbooks. It was the wives of the Ku Klux Klan who made sure when they talked about slavery, you couldn't pass it. They wanted to, but they couldn't just bypass it. They watered it down so much. At best, what you hear is when you're in history, black folk slaves, Lincoln future slaves. The end. That's what you get. You don't know really what happened. None of us. It was never something of people roots to be even by us in school, which it should have been, and that's a lightweight book because a lot of children, and I think our children, to know what exactly they did, they need to know because once they know, you'll understand. I was talking to my son one night, and he shares with me that there was an older gentleman who wanted to share with him segregation. And he said, Dad, I don't want to know why this man want to talk to me about segregation I don't know anything about that. Do I really even care to know anything about, you know? And I can never relate to what this man is talking about as far as segregation goes. So why listen? And I listened to him and I said, more than likely, that older gentleman is trying to get you to understand. But you cannot go through life thinking that because you haven't lived it or you weren't here in the 60s, you don't need to hear about it. Because that same practice, if you don't know about it, like they say about history, not only will it repeat itself, not only will it happen again, but it might come back worse. But then I share with my son, if you feel that way, and I'm hoping a lot of young people don't, then why even make books? Why read a book? That's the one thing about reading, you know, that you can go to Paris or you can go to Ghana or you can go to Africa and not leave your living room by reading what's there, because the imagination is limitless. So anytime, man, anytime, victim Olympics. I mean, it's a silly term, and hell, I wish we were winning it. I just put it like that. We, we never seem to win. If we are running it, or if we are in it, we never seem to win because everybody else get paid to kick down, but us. It seemed that way. I mean,
Well,
the American government
let's
wants
look at
to.
the Japanese. Let's look at the Japanese situation. In Japan, like you said, they not only made reparations over there in Japan and giving them billions of dollars in Japan, they made reparations for the Japanese that they put in concentration camps here. And they was in concentration camps for a couple of years here.
Yes.
No doubt it was hard. No doubt it was some ugly situation. And we're not saying, oh, the Japanese had an easy money. No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is, if you're going to give them money for that, where's our money that you promised us? We're not asking you for that. You the one said you was going to give us this money in the reconstruction. So where is it? Every time we ask, you looking at us like we crazy. You know what that reminds me of, man? One time, I knew I shouldn't have did this, man. It was a dude that never had no money. Y'all out there, listen to me. If there's always somebody around you that's always broke, and then they come to you and borrow money, never give them no money. But this dude caught me on a good day one day. He caught me on a good day. He said, man, hey, can I borrow $10 or whatever it was, $5, $10, whatever. And I was like, okay. And when I started asking him for it, he got mad, man. I was like, how you mad at me? This money you owe me.
Right.
I'm not, why are you mad at me? I'm asking you for what you already gave, what you were supposed to be giving me. But he was always upset. He always had a new excuse why he couldn't give it to him. But I'm just saying, that's kind of like how America is doing us. Like, it's always a new excuse. Wait, I'll get to you, but I got this to get to. The Japanese situation, man, that was a bad situation. But they took care of them on both ends, here and there. Here and there, they took care of them. And still taking care of them.
Yes.
Giving them billions of dollars annually. The Japanese don't never say, you know what, we in the victim Olympics. We don't want this money. Don't.
Right.
And I'm going to get to the Jewish situation. But right now I'm talking about the Japanese. The Japanese never say that. Like they tell, how like they tell us, that was back in the past. How come you still hanging on to that? Right?
Yeah, get over it.
Get over it. But they never tell the Japanese, get over it.
Right.
And don't get me started on the Jews. They never tell the Jews get over it. Hey man, that was 50 years ago. And the Jew is one thing about them. The Jews will remind them in a minute that they turn their back on the Jew. They remind them in a minute. Hold on. Oh, you forgot? We're gonna put up a Holocaust museum here, just so you can remember why you giving us that billions of dollars every year, right?
Right.
And we, and some of us, we feel sorry for them. We feel bad for them. Now, no
Yeah,
doubt, what happened to
because you're
them,
not too big.
what happened to them was horrible situation. I'm not even here to
Right,
say they deserved it or earned that situation. I'm just saying it was bad. But
right.
compared to us, holy smokes, not even a drop in the bucket. Not even a drop in the
Not
bucket. And
even that.
man, not even a drop in the bucket. Man, but they get all of that money and they never say, oh, that was, nobody never goes to the Jews and say, get over it, get
Right.
over it. Now, who's up and coming? Who's the up and coming group now? The LGBT community.
Oh,
LGBT community have had people getting slain, brother, get killed, right? But and they get and the government is starting to really give them push money down there, push money their way. Now we know why they
yes.
make they because they want them to vote Democratic. We know why they're doing that. But I'm just
Right,
saying, whatever for whatever reason they're pushing money their way, right?
right,
Okay. The LGBT community never says we can't accept this money. That was a while ago. What happened? What happened to
right,
Andrew Cunanan? That was a while ago. What happened to this person? That was
right,
a while ago. We don't want that money. No, they take every
right,
dollar, and nobody never tells the
right,
LGBT community, get over it, get over
right,
it. So why are they
right.
telling us? Let me catch up with these. Let me catch up with these comments, brother Jarvis. Catch up with some comments
Yes,
here.
sir.
Um,
Give me one
Snuggles,
second.
yes, sir. It would be wise for people to not understanding the things that happened in the past, so it'd be easy for it to be done again to people who don't remember in the future. Yeah, it's like Pharaoh told, Pharaoh said about the Egyptians. I mean, Pharaoh said about the uh, um, Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? Let's separate the older ones from the younger ones, so that the younger ones can't tell the older ones can't tell the younger ones what happened in their past. They won't be able to pass down their history, and then pretty soon they will forget all about it. They won't even remember what happened to them, and they will enjoy captivity. They will embrace captivity because that's all they would know, and that's the kind of thing they're trying to do to us too, brother, sister. Um, brother D, the legal term of justice is to right a wrong. So I agree with Brother Jarvis in that regard. That's what reparations is, right? Righting a wrong, but they don't acknowledge wrongs when it comes to blacks. Exactly, brother. Because like Brother Daryl Long was saying, they look at us as people who have just a natural high propensity for pain. So it's not like hurting a real human being because the propensity for pain in us is so high. That's the way they look at it. And so, and if anybody can survive without what they're supposed to have, it's us. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things going around, and they should right the wrongs, but that, like I said, of course they're not going to do it unless forced to. Brother D, please like and subscribe, share the show. Hey, thanks, Brother D. I appreciate that, man. Please like and subscribe if you can. If you feel like we doing something to help, please like and subscribe. Um, Snuggles, you have to feel bad for people who punish you, even if you don't feel bad for them. If there's a difference between your situation and their situation, they have the power and leverage, and you don't. Yeah, man, but we not. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying don't give money to the Jews. We're not saying don't give money to the Japanese. We're saying give them money. We're not even saying don't give money to the Afghans. We're not saying don't give them money. We're saying if you giving them money, then we should be in the front of the line. That's all we're saying.
Yes, sir.
We should be in the
Yes,
front of the
sir.
line if you're giving out money.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
anyway, Snuggles, take what you can get if you don't take what you get. If you don't feel bad for me, I will punish you. If you don't feel bad for you, for or keep being victim. See if anyone cares. No, no one's gonna care. That's why we gotta go to the only person that's gonna help us, and that's God. That's the only person that's gonna help us. that can help us. You know, nobody else can really help us. No one else is motivated to help us. Everybody is making money off of us not having what we need. So there's no motivation for anyone to help us. So we have to help ourselves. Definitely. Brother Daryl, Everything Everyday Podcast. You right, brother. Good to see you in the house, Brother Daryl. Um, Brother Daryl, I'm working from home, but watching, brother. Good, good, good. I need to talk to you, man. Whenever you get a chance, let's hook up, man. Let's hook up. Um, Brother Daryl's a strong soldier. Uh, Snuggles, you all have a natural propensity for pain. You showcase it in your movies, the way you talk to each other and the way you even teach each other how to greet each other. Your language is pain. I know, Snuggles. I know. But that was the way we was forced to be that way with each other. We were forced to communicate to each other like that since we've been in this country and since we have had influence by Caucasian society. No offense to our Caucasian friends, it's just the truth of the matter. So we have been forced to do that since we've been here. Now we got to learn a new way. Brother Daryl, health disparities is the number one reason Black women are dying in 2020. Bro, that's a whole nother conversation. And we know you're right, but that's a whole nother conversation. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. Sister G, I truly think that term came from them. Run up on us, real ones, and discover who the victims really are. Yeah, you know what I mean? But that's what I say, Sister G. You and your husband have to get out here and start teaching these young ones. Because just like I said in the Bible, that they cut off the older Hebrews from the younger Hebrews because they didn't want the older Hebrews to push that, tell them their history, how wicked Pharaoh and his crew was. They didn't want that knowledge to be brought down. Like they said, you know, if the young ones can't connect to their past, they will learn to accept their future and their present, which is bondage, illegal bondage. Brother D, we got to get you on Conversation with the King. I was on Conversation with the King. You wasn't there, brother. It wasn't the same energy, man. Maybe it'll be a different energy when you on there, man. I mean, no shade. Shout out to the Kings, but it was just a different kind of energy. But you know, I'm gladly get on there when you on there, brother. So you just let me know, Brother D. Snuggles, the slaves prayed to God. Also, the slaves were given God. I wonder who really freed them. What does the history book say? Or is that a lie also? Well, when we're looking at slaves, we're talking about as far as in the Bible, a lot of that is allegorical, and I don't really want to break all of that down. But yes, God was very integral in their being free, in my opinion. And if somebody else got a different opinion, please lay it on me. Brother Jarvis, you can jump in anytime, man. You hear a comment that you want to jump in on. Seeing that you were forced to be that way, we with each other, it's only fitting that everything is happening should continuously happen, seeing that you don't have the mental ability to stop it. It's not that we don't have the mental ability to stop it, Snuggles. It's just that we don't have the motivation. We're being led by wizards and magicians. They say, look at me, I'm rich. Follow this money. Don't follow God, follow the money. The money will solve all your problems. So we follow these wizards and magicians around, just like they did when Moses was trying to get the people to leave Pharaoh, and they didn't want to leave because they said, what you going to do better than this? We eating every day. But Moses said, but you a slave. They said, yeah, but we eat every day. You know, we get our ration of bread and rice every day. If we go out there to the forest with you, we don't know what we gonna eat. But Moses tried to tell him, hey, isn't better being free better than being a slave? But they couldn't understand it. So now he had to go up against Pharaoh's magicians. He had to go up against Pharaoh's magicians just to get the people to get on the right program for their own self. So I am happy you say we're forced to do everything. So everything happens to you. You should let it be. Let it be. I know that you can never change anything because you're a perpetual victim. Good job. Ha! Well, we are. That's our mentality as a group. That's not all of our mentality. Some of us, uh, you know what? You know what I heard one day, Brother Jarvis? I heard a man say, uh, a man was talking to a judge, and the judge said, "Brother, you trying to put, you trying to get black people to straighten up is like putting pants on an elephant." And the man said, "Well, I already got one pants leg on already, right? We're already in the
Brother,
process. We can make it happen. We can already
brother,
make it happen, right? But we just gotta have the spirit to do it." Sister G, be on it and still on it, brother. See, we are. I mean, we are. I don't care, Sister G. I don't care who come up here. The devil itself could come up in here. We still pushing the program. We still pushing the program. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. You know what I mean? And I know Sister Snuggles is just being the devil's advocate right here, but hey, man, we still pushing the program. We still pushing the program. So back to the Japanese, brother. The Japanese, the bombs, and I'm going to get into it. The bombs that dropped on the Japanese, man, it disfigured them so bad, man. It was a radius of like 100 miles or 200 miles from when the bombs dropped, where their faces were, they were dying of cancer still, and they were their faces and everything were burned up. Everything was burned up. But now that was 80 years ago, brother. Almost all of them people that was there, even the ones that was little kids, they're gone. Yet we still giving Japan money, right? The Japanese here, like you said, they took them out of those concentration camps. They built concentration camps and put Japanese Americans, American-born people of Japanese descent, put them in a concentration camp in America. They had some in California and some in Arizona. JP, they had some in Arizona. And I remember I was talking, what's his name? Sulu from Star Trek. He was talking about all of the bad stuff that was happening there, the rapes and the stealing and all that was happening in those places. And it was just Japanese in there. And American soldiers. This is Japanese. He said the American soldiers raping the Japanese women was off the chain. Off the chain. How do you fix that? How do you reparate that? But they still doing whatever they could, giving them money, right? What about us, brother? What about us? That's why I say this is a subject that's so intense and so thin. But the real part that I have a problem with is our people that adopt that philosophy. Our people. I understand that there's some Caucasian people that will adopt that philosophy and others that will adopt that philosophy. But our people that adopt that philosophy that say, well, you're running the Victim Olympics. I got rich, so you must be running the Victim Olympics because you ain't rich like me. And I said this before. Some of our people, you can get rich two ways. You can go around the system, like Dave Chappelle. You can go around the system. I'm not wearing no dress. Come on, Dave. You can wear a dress. You'll be funny. I'm not wearing a dress. No. You'll see. Oh, man, this is fun. And they try to get you to compromise your beliefs. No, you can stick with your beliefs. And look at the man. He's still a billionaire, right? He's still a millionaire. Or you can work with the system like Kevin Hart. I'll put the dress on. Whatever you want me to do, boss, we'll do it. Some of our people, the only way they see you making this money is working with the system. And they hate the system so bad, they'd rather stay poor and broke than to work with the system and get rich. They hate the system that bad. Let me get to Brother D. Brother Daniel. They know who we are, and their objective is to keep us ignorant as to who we are. That's why they will put so much effort into keeping us ignorant. if we have knowledge of self, we will concur and they will fall. Yeah, we have to have knowledge of self, true indeed, but we got to have here's our problem, Brother D. As a group, we don't have the motivation to want to know more about ourselves because we too busy trying to get this money. We ain't trying to find out more about ourselves. Our people are they some of the smartest people ever, but they don't want to know about it. But our young people are being cut off because now you got white people out there telling them it's wrong to be taught about the Civil War. It's wrong to be taught about the Confederacy. It's wrong to be taught about slavery in America. They only want to talk about George Washington chopped down a cherry tree or whatever, right? George Washington never told a lie.
And that's a lie. And that's a lie.
Brother Jarvis, how do you know that's a lie, Brother Jarvis?
You know, over 90% of what they told you is a lie. The again, getting back to those textbooks, they were the wives of the Ku Klux Klan because the wives of the Ku Klux Klan were teachers, and they didn't want the truth told. They never told you what really happened. Do you know that to make sure, and it's documented, it's written down, to make sure that the black woman never turned on him, she would take what you call a buck, the man who got her pregnant. The devil would take him, put two horses, one horse going one way, one arm, the other horse going the other way. While the woman was pregnant, make her watch why that horse, he would tell both horses to get. And when they got, it would rip his arm off, rip the man in half, and kill him. And he told her, if you ever turn on me, that's not going to not only happen to you, that's going to happen to your baby. That's why the black woman is so tender. That's why you have Black Lives Matter. That's why you see the black woman out front. She still believes that she's got to protect her son, her nephew, her father, her whatever, because she thinks that I should be the one up front. Get behind my skirt. I should be the one up front.
Yeah.
And she made, if you ever notice, so teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who taught Minister Farrakhan, that if you ever notice, black women, if they have a daughter and a son, they make the daughter strong. The daughter's always strong. Get educated. Go to school. Do what you got to do. Do it for yourself. But that boy, you get up under my skirt. You stay here. You stay with me. You can live with me till you're 40. But that girl, oh no, you got to go. You got to get out of here. She's strong. She got the reins. And this is a whole nother subject, but she's so used to the reins, she don't want to give them back. Yeah. You know, but like I say, but you know, there's so much that we don't, when you say, you know, how do you know it's a lie? It's all a lie. Everything's a lie. Everything is out of order.
You can't say the white man is a liar, brother. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You got something, you got a screw loose, Brother Jarvis?
There's so much.
You don't just call the white man a liar.
There's so much evidence.
That, brother. Our people gonna get you for that. They're gonna come and get you for that, brother.
And that's why
they're gonna come get you. They're gonna come get me too. Shit, I'm sitting right next to you.
Yeah, and that's it. We'll be like G. We'll be on the cross.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, like I heard you can't stay here, Brother Clarence. If you're gonna die on your post.
Yeah.
If Allah says it's time to go, it's time to go.
It's time to go.
And if we both on the cross, well, it's His will because it's time to go. You know?
What is death?
But again,
but a transition, brother. It's all it is a transition. Death is just a transition. It's not the end of you.
Right.
It's a transition. What's on the other side, we don't know, because we was taught no one has ever come back to tell us exactly what's there. So we don't know what's there, but it's a transitional period.
We so silly. We so silly. We think it's a pot of gold and some money on the other end. We think, I'm gonna be in heaven balling, not knowing that heaven is about work, and heaven and hell is a state of mind. But let's not even go there. You know, but listen,
But
I want to get back to
okay,
when you said when that was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he was being sentenced to go to prison. And the judge told him, he said, Elijah, you trying to make your people into Muslims. This the judge now. The judge said, Elijah, you trying to make your people into Muslims. He said, making your people into Muslims is like putting pants leg on an elephant. He said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad looked at the judge and said, I got one pants leg on already. In other words, it's already in motion.
exactly.
It's already, your time
They,
is up.
they naturally, we are, as a people, we are naturally, like Dr. Collins said, we naturally will do good. If we just be left alone, we're naturally good people on the majority level. We're naturally good. We naturally already, so that I don't even have to work to get that pant leg on. We are already naturally good people. Just leave me alone. Now I'm gonna have to work to get the other leg on because of the influence that you had on us. But shit, one pants leg is on already because we are already by nature God's people. If left
Yes,
alone.
sir.
If left alone.
Yes,
Let me
sir.
catch up with the comments, Brother Jarvis, real quick. Sister G, there are still a few of us that have the mentality of Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, a hard-driving soldier, got deported. He wanted to take people back to Africa, and see, that's why I say, make up your mind. You tell us to go back to Africa. Okay, this man had 2 ocean liners that he bought. Ocean liners, millions of dollars that he spent on 2 ocean liners, and he was getting black people ready to go back to Africa, and they deported the man. Which one is it? Do you want us to go back or not? Do you want us to stay? Well, obviously, nobody wants to let their captives go, so they deported Marcus Garvey because you're stirring up the good niggers. Dr. Huey P. Newton, a hard driving soldier, beat three. Dr. Huey P. Newton beat 3 murder cases. When I say not 3 different people, but 3, they tried to try him 3 different times, and he beat them all 3 times. Beat him because he shot a police officer that was trying to shoot at him. So he beat him 3 times. But that's not why we say he's a good brother. He's a good brother because he started food programs. Him, Fred Hampton, all these guys started these food programs, and you know what the Black Panthers noticed? They noticed that young kids were going to school in the black community. They were going to school and they was acting up. They tried to figure out why these children acting up. They figured out they were so poor they wasn't having breakfast, so they started the breakfast program.
They were hungry.
That's just one of the things that Huey Newton did. And the next thing he did was show black men how you could carry a weapon legally. You could carry a weapon. See, black people thought, oh, they ain't gonna give me no gun because it's racist society. And Huey Newton showed with the law that you could carry a gun. You just got to follow the procedure, and you could carry a gun. Matter of fact, right. Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, and a bunch of other Black Panthers walked in on your favorite president, brother. They went to the capital of California, Sacramento, and walked in on the meeting with your favorite president. He was a governor at the time. He was a governor of California at the time. They walked in, guns ready, strapped. Walked in on Ronald Wilson Reagan, brother, having a meeting at the governor's table. They walked in on him, bam, with all the guns, just to show, make a stance that, hey, you can legally carry firearms. But of course, all the laws changed after that. Now you got to have a conceal and carry and all of that. But back then, you could have a gun, man, if you followed the law. We talked about Dr. Huey P. Newton, Brother Malcolm, holy smoke, Brother Malcolm, just on fire. Taught so many men so many different things about how to be a man, how just to be a man. taught the minister Louis Farrakhan, taught so many other ministers across the nation. Remember Minister, what was that minister, man, that was always trying to get you married?
Minister Wazir.
Minister Wazir. Minister
Yes.
Wazir directly taught Minister Wazir.
May God rest his
Malcolm
soul.
X was just on fire. Muhammad Ali taught by the messenger. Just absolutely outstanding minister himself. Then, before he fell back into the the natural world, and Minister Farrakhan today. And these are just some men. But as you can see, Sister G, thank you for putting a list of varying type of people. It ain't all one religion, ain't all one type of belief, ain't all one, but it's a spectrum. We have a spectrum of people that's trying to get this thing done. Thank you for that, Sister G. I got one more, brother. I got her husband, Brother Daniel. And that's European thinking and conditioning. We've adapted. This is not our lifestyle. It never was. Yeah, Brother D, it never was our lifestyle. But we been taught that getting money is the end. That's the end result. It don't matter whether you're a good person or not. If you getting money, you getting money. That's what means you something if you getting money. We don't know what it's like to just be a good person anymore. We don't have no incentive to be a good person. We just got incentive, man. Let me just get out of this project. And if they want me to wear a dress to get out of this project, let me do it. I'm so glad that Dave Chappelle stood his ground. But that's a dangerous situation for them because now they know, oh man, now they got an example of somebody who stood his ground. And now it's going to be harder for us to get the rest of them. I was watching this thing about sex, it was about sex facts that slave owners was doing with the slaves. And they would just make these slaves have orgies, man. And then they would join in the orgies. They would make the men. Listen to this, brother. Listen to this. Listen to me good. Listen to me good out there, y'all. They would make these men, the bucks, go out, and you had to have at least 12 children, I think, a year. You had to have 12 children a year. You had to impregnate 12 women per year. Think about that. You had a quota you had to make. You had to meet a quota. And if you got married, your wife wasn't guaranteed to be just with you. She could be thrown into an orgy too, especially the prettier they look, the more they were thrown into the orgy. And I'm just telling the truth. I mean, I ain't, I know some of our Caucasian friends can't handle the truth. Some of them can, but most of them can't. I understand that. You got to go. We just telling the truth. We had a brother be easy. Hope you around, brother. I'm giving you credit. We call this the truth chamber. This is definitely the truth chamber. We just telling the truth. They were saying that the better looking of the sisters would be brought into the house, right? Most of us know that already, right? Because they were saying that not only would the master have sex with the slaves, he would take his sons out to have sex with the slaves. And any baby that would be born, they'll let that baby work in the house, right? I mean, if it's a woman, female, whatever. But if it's a guy, maybe they work closer in the house, right? Anyway. And, they brothers and sisters with people in the house, but they can't act like it. But anyway, they said that if the master had sex with one of the women in the house and the baby came out, they said that sometimes the woman of the house, the white woman of the house, would behead that baby. Think about that, man. You carry a baby for 9 months, and then you have this baby. You actually go through the pain of having a baby. and then a lady comes out, and just because your husband raped her, they behead the baby. It
You
was
don't
all
behead
kind
the
of
husband. You
it
behead
was all kind of wicked stuff going on, man.
all,
But my point is,
all this is
with
documented.
documents,
No.
brother.
All this is documented. Never was taught in school. Never
No,
told us anything about any of this.
no,
You know, but we run the victim list. But you
right,
never said anything about any of this. But I'm victim in the victim
right,
Olympics, but I never win.
right,
I never come through. I never win. How is
right.
it that I'm in the victim Olympics, but you win? Because the Japanese got reparations, the Jews got reparations. Everybody got what they had coming to them because you tried to rectify a wrong. But when it comes down to rectifying the wrong, you don't need to do that. But I'm in the victim Olympics. Amazing. That is amazing.
Brother,
And you
I'm
wonder,
gonna open it.
but
Hold on, brother Jarvis. I'm gonna open it
yes, sir.
up, and I'm gonna let people, whoever wants to come in and add their 2 cents in and tell us, or can explain Victim Olympics, or can tell us why, how it is that Israel can get the money they get, and Japan can get the money they get, and Venezuela and Argentina, they can get the money that they get every year, and we sitting here with our hands empty. Hey, be my guest. Come on back. All right, I'm sorry, brother Jarvis. Go ahead, man. Continue, please.
Nah, no problem. Like I said, it's a play, a play on words, and it's a trick. And like Snuggle 668, she would come on, and because I have an idea of what I think you're saying. I don't know if you're playing devil's advocate or you mean what you say, but you know, that's why I don't like the phrase. Although my daddy or my father, God rest his soul, love to use the term or the phrase, "You put yourself in this situation." I don't like that phrase because that's how some people look at us as black. Well, you put yourselves there. You did it yourself. How did I do it to myself when you tricked me on a boat and or forced me on a boat, brought me here, took me away from my biological mother and father, just like you do tigers. Brother Clarence, those tigers or those lions, those aren't jungle grown tiger lions. Because jungle grown tiger or lion is going to back down because you got a whip in your hand.
Right,
Trust me, they won't. And some of them, if you shoot them, sometimes you just piss them off. Unless
right,
you hit a vital area, they keep coming at you. There
right,
is no natural born tiger that's going to back down from you because you got a whip in your hand. That's not going to happen.
right,
You have to take the tiger and or the lion away from biological mother and father. You have to feed him. You have to raise him, like a Sigmund and Freud. But you know what though? Only thing about that is documented in Jefferson memoirs when he said, Thomas Jefferson that is, and he wrote, you know, although we enslaved these black folks and made them slaves, after a while, God is going to come for them. And he
yeah,
was right. He knew it.
yeah,
They knew it. They knew we only have a time. We only have a certain amount because God's going to come.
yeah,
But when you take the biological lion, when you take the biological tigers away from, the biological parents, away from the tigers and the lions, and even though you raise them, and even though Sigmund Freud, you feed them, and you do all that you can for them, and you stick your head, meaning Sigmund Freud, in their mouth. Do you know after a while, Brother Clarence, their nature come back, and it's like,
hey,
wait a minute,
you gotta keep watching
wait,
out for their nature. That's the thing, man. You gotta keep watching out for their nature. If you don't, their nature is gonna come in, man, and then that's what's gonna happen.
yes, sir. Because there's no way in the world a human being should stick their head in the mouth of a tiger and he don't jump down on
Yeah,
you. But, oh, I didn't know because that tiger wasn't made like that. That's a
right,
killing machine.
right,
God made him a killing machine.
right,
But you thought that you tamed him. You did for a time. You did for a time.
Yeah.
But after a while, his nature's going to come back. And what
Yeah.
he's made for, that's the same thing with black folks, like you said earlier. If you leave us alone and let us be in our own natural habitat and let
Right.
us flourish and not interfere with us, the whole
Yeah.
world will be a better place. The whole world, not just where we are, but the whole world. And I'm
Yeah.
not bragging on black. I'm black. I'm not bragging on black folks. But look at every picture in the world. Nobody's like you. Nobody thinks like you. Nobody act like you. Nobody got a bigger heart than you.
I see you, Brother D. I'm going to
Dance
bring you up
like
in a
you.
second.
Nobody move like you. None of that. There is nobody on the planet like the black man and woman. Nobody.
Right.
So I
Right.
can't be in the Victim Olympics. I mean, although you claim that I'm running it, but I never win.
Ha.
So what good is it? What kind of Olympics are we running? I
Man.
never win.
let
You know.
me get to
So why
a
be
couple
in?
of chats, brother. At Brother Jarvis, absolutely right. Sister G, at Brother Jarvis, absolutely right. And Sister G said, "You right, brother. You own it. 100 grand, 100 grand." I'm gonna bring up Brother D, man. He wants to come up. He wants to add something to us.
You know. So
Go
teachers,
ahead,
you know, I
Brother
don't know if
Jarvis.
it's
Finish.
that's fine. No, I'm just saying that's where I got it from.
Brother Daniel, can you hear us? Brother Daniel, can you hear us, brother? What about you, man? Can you? I think
Yeah,
you
I'm
got yourself
wondering if
muted.
we got the acoustics together this
Oh
time.
yeah. We good, man. We good. You sounding good, man.
You
Brother
know,
D, what
Yeah, there
is
you go.
you good?
He came in good for a second when he was
Yeah,
talking.
he
He said
was.
1 second.
Good. You good, brother
give me
D?
give me one
Okay,
second.
I'll let you work it out. Um,
All right.
good.
Can you
Sounding
guys hear
good
me
on this
now?
end. Okay, you sound good on this
You
end.
sound
So,
good.
brother D, what's your opinion of the Victim Olympics, man? What's going on with that, man? Where's that coming from? What's it about? What's happening, man? What's up with that? Oh, okay. You ain't hearing nothing. Okay, maybe
Oh,
you
he
need to
can't.
pop out and pop back in.
Yeah, he can hear us. Okay. Yeah, we hear him fine.
Yeah, we hear him fine, but he ain't hearing
He
us.
was coming in fine.
Sometimes you got to. Sometimes he
Right,
has
right.
technical stuff. We got to pop back in.
I don't
Let's,
know if you guys can hear me. I can't hear you
yes,
guys
we
at
can hear
all.
you. Yes,
So
we
I'll
can
go
hear
out
We
you.
can hear
and
you.
I'll come back
We
in.
can hear you. You coming in
You
good.
can hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
I
yes.
can
sir.
hear you guys.
Oh, okay,
He said he can't hear us.
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
okay. Right on. Go ahead, man. All right. I think I dropped enough about the Japanese, right? Now, let's go into what, like you were saying earlier, World War II. World War II. And I studied World War II extensively. And well, let me finish with the Japanese. Why did the Americans drop those two bombs on the Japanese?
Damn, good question. I really don't know. I mean, that was the war. Because that was the last strong front, from what I'm understanding. Because Hitler was reeling. We talk about World War II, right?
We're
Hitler was
talking about
reeling
World
by
War
then.
II, huh?
Yeah, he was reeling. He was losing. Hitler was losing land after land. By this time, right before they dropped them bombs, he was losing land after land after land. He was reeling, man.
He was. He was. I'm gonna tell you where Hitler was when they dropped the bombs. Hitler still had a chance to accomplish his goal, which was to take over Europe pretty much. He had he was in the running. It wasn't an open and shut case. It didn't get to be an open and shut case about 1942 or 43. That's when everybody knew you just don't have the resources or the support to make it happen. But still, he pushed on, right? He made his people push on. Okay, so I'm gonna say what the reason why America dropped those 2 bombs on Japan was because of a situation called Pearl Harbor. The Japanese snuck attacked a U.S. base called Pearl Harbor. Once they did that,
and I know why they did that. But go ahead. I know why they attacked Pearl Harbor.
You know why they attacked Pearl Harbor?
Yes, I do. I know.
Okay,
I know
why
the
did they do
exact
that,
reason
brother?
why they. Number one, America was trying her hardest not to drag into a war.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that.
Trying her hardest. But go ahead, brother. You go ahead and finish. I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the same thing,
finish.
brother. That they was trying to. America had been doing this dance, trying to stay out of the war. They let because the Germans had went through, and like I talked about it earlier, what they did to Poland. Man, they went through Poland and they took everything, brother. They took cows, horses. They took anything that could be eaten, burned, sold, anything that they could do. They did the exact same thing they did to the Jews. They did to the Polish people. The only difference between the Polish people and the Jews, they said that the Polish people was making a sacrifice. The Jews, they said they was not even good enough to make a sacrifice, right? They went through Poland, man. They took all these people's stuff. And I talked about this where there was nothing to eat in Poland. There was literally nothing to eat. Women were having to cook their smallest child and feed it to the other people, feed it to the other family members. That's how bad it got down there in Poland, where they were cooking each other and eating them. Like, remember the Donner Party? They cook and find somebody got to go. Somebody got to make the sacrifice so we can eat, so we can move on, right? I mean, it just got so bad in Poland. Millions of people died there. But that's what the Germans did to the Polish. Japan, they dropped so in that, talking about the Polish situation, America should have stepped in then, right? But they tried to stay out of it because so many American businessmen were backing Hitler. Ones we know for sure, right? Henry Ford. What's that other guy? There was another guy that was another big human. Was Howard Hughes? No, I don't know if it's Howard Hughes. There was another big American business person that was backing. They were backing the Nazi government, giving them money, giving them resources. So the American, because those businessmen was making money, they said they tried to stay out of the situation. But then when they dropped the bomb on Pearl Harbor, that was too close to home. They had to jump in. They had to get involved in it now because the Japanese was like, oh, we can get them. We can get them. They felt that their Navy was way superior to the American Navy, and they said, we can get them. They way over there in Europe trying to fight. They'll never be able to defend their own coastline. So they went over there and they dropped the bomb. I mean, not dropped the bomb, but dropped bombs on Pearl Harbor and attacked Pearl Harbor. So that's how American got pulled into the war. They had no choice. They couldn't stay out of it no more, right? So now they had to fight on 2 fronts, which was okay for America. They ended up working it out where they could do it. But Germany was trying to do the same thing. They were trying to fight on 2 or 3 different fronts, and they just did not have the resources and manpower or whatever to get it done. But that's a whole nother thing. But the point is, now America's in the war. So when they end the war, they said, okay, we got to knock this thing out with Japan quick. We ain't got time to be fighting back and forth. Even though they did, we ain't got time to keep wasting resources down here. We got to take care of Hitler. That's the bigger issue. So they came up with these atomic bombs. Boom, they dropped one in Hiroshima. Boom, they dropped one in Nagasaki. Bam, done. Japanese came running out. We'll sign whatever you want us to sign. They ran off the emperor's son. We'll sign whatever you want us to sign. So they signed the treaty, right? They signed everything. So America dropping them 2 bombs, that wrapped that situation up with Japan, right? They fought for a year or so, But then when they drop them bombs, boom, wrap that situation up tight. Now, even though they did that, they're still giving them money, brother. Still, 80 years ago, they dropped those bombs, and they still giving them money. And they never turn around and say, you know what? We don't want that money. We don't want it.
Right.
They still give them money, right? Same, okay.
But they're
Let's go to the big dog. Let's go to the big dog in the room. Brother D, can you hear us? Oh, yeah, I put you up, brother. Can you hear us, Brother D?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can
Yeah, I
hear
can hear
you.
you too.
You're low. You're low.
Yeah,
But we can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah, the volume up.
it's on fire. So I just gotta talk extra
Oh, you
loud.
got to talk loud.
Yeah.
Okay, what is
Okay.
what is your feelings about this, brother? What's your position?
Well, everything is about economics, especially when you're talking about war. Every time the United States owes a lot of companies a lot of money, even the small countries. And when they don't want to pay it back, they threaten them with war. And I've been in a lot of them. So that is their strategy. Let's go to war. Let's go to war. And that's supposedly supposed to boost the economy because that's when manufacturing starts taking place.
Right.
And they start building vehicles and tanks and all this other stuff. That's, you probably heard of Molly Riveter when the women used to stay at home, but all of a sudden they were in the factories.
Right.
And they were building tanks and building, machinery.
Right.
So, and that started the baby booming crap after World War II.
Right.
And it went in the Korean War and all that kind of stuff. But they always have a war when they have an economic crisis. And basically, the way they have this country set up in the United States, there's going to be a recession between 9 and 14 years, right? And they always start talking about, oh, we're going to shut Congress down, this, that, and the third. They already talking about a recession already.
Wow. Okay.
When was the last recession? When were they talking about shutting Congress down?
Right.
A couple of days ago. Last week, I think they said they had up to Thursday or what have you. This is how they set this stuff up. But it's all about economics. It has nothing to do with anything else. And the new world order that people heard about has already started.
Right.
Where they have one economy, one unified government, and everybody else has to abide by that. And this is going to be totally different. Has already started.
To go back to gold.
What you say, brother?
You have to go back to gold. If you're gonna have one economy, you got to go back to gold, right?
I mean, they've been pushing gold like a long time ago because remember they were saying, oh, well, gold is going to go up and that's going to be the tender and the standard because it was a gold and silver standard, but they never really went back to that.
Right.
It was Nixon that kind of turned everything from to currency.
Right.
You know what I mean? And all they do is print more money and the economy, goes into inflation. So it's not backed by anything.
Right.
Dollar ain't worth nothing because it's not backed by anything.
Right.
And I can go into a whole class about what's going on with that globally as far as the gold standard, because a lot of people, Fort Knox and all that kind of stuff, they store a lot of gold over here from other countries. Right. But the problem is they're showcasing the same gold because sometimes they'll send executives over or, representatives to look at, they want to physically see their gold to make sure it's still in good standing.
Yes.
Right.
And they're showing everybody the same gold because the United States used a lot of that stuff to fight these wars and do other nefarious situations. So that's a whole other story. But a lot of people don't know anything about that. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, gentlemen, let's break it down. Because if there is a Victim Olympics, who's winning? Who's winning this Victim Olympics? I mean, who's winning?
Well,
I made a statement earlier. I'm sorry, Brother Jarvis. Go ahead.
No. I just wanted to throw that. I mean, certainly we're not. The winner of the Victim Olympics is not black folks. If we are, point one out.
The bigger question is who's creating the game? Because Europeans, what they do is they create the game, they perfect it, and then they want you to play with them. They don't want us to play with them, though, because every game that they create or otherwise, we succeed in, and we take over the game. So they don't want us playing the game. What they want us is always be behind.
Right.
And that's what you see out here. I mean, all the sports stars and, in everything in pretty much industry, we're the top achievers in that regard because they know who we are, but we don't.
Right.
Right. If things played fair, I heard Minister Farrakhan say, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. He said, that's about you. Anytime you give somebody an inch and they'll take a mile, the whole phrase is about black folks because you exceed at everything. You can look at little black girls. You take a little white girl, she jump rope, jump. Now you take a black girl, you know what she gonna do? She gonna go get a friend, go get another friend, go get another friend. Two of them turning the rope, but it's two ropes now. Not only is it two, but it's two in the middle game. Like I said, you are you are the type of people, you excel at everything. You don't even dribble a basketball. We don't produce Michael Jordan for no reason. You don't even dribble a basketball regular. You don't do nothing regular. Nothing. You don't do anything regular. That's how you are as a people. That's why, to me, you could never be in the quote unquote Victim Olympics because you're not that kind of people.
Thank you.
That's not you.
Thank you.
Black folks aren't that kind of people. You excel at everything if left alone.
Well, I think we're excelling at getting left out of this Victim Olympics, man. We gotta figure out some kind of way to get out of this getting left back. Because everybody telling us we're in this Victim Olympics, but we always in the last place. But you know what it reminds me of, man? It reminds me of Las Vegas, man. They want you to come there and gamble, but if you figure out a way to beat the house, they don't want you back no more. Right?
No.
Once you figure out a way to beat the house, man, they put you on they put you in that little black book, and you can't go no casino nowhere. They'll walk you right out the front door.
Now that you mention that, one of the biggest ways to win something is to eliminate your competition.
Okay.
Or not allow them to compete at all. Because remember, we weren't allowed to compete in sports or other categories.
Right.
Even in the corporate sector. So if they allow you to compete, they already know you're going to succeed and surpass them. So their objective is to make sure you're not even in the competition.
Right.
Period. But now they realize they can't put all them great white hopes out there that's going to beat us out. So they said, well, what the hell? Let's not even do that. Let's strategize and have most of them compete against each other. So the boxing game even got bigger.
Right.
The football game got even bigger. I mean, they wouldn't even have damn sports if it wasn't for us.
Right.
But who are we competing against? We're competing against ourselves. They're making the money off of it. Right.
Yeah, and that's the same. Like you said, That's how the Las Vegas situation is, man. You competing against other people at the table, but the house is the one making the money. You know what I'm saying? They the ones making the money. And you compete against everybody else at the table. They just like you. You ain't. You don't know. None of y'all gonna win. The house is gonna win most of the time, right?
Right.
They can afford to have you win 2% of the time if they win 98% of the time. Yeah, that 2% that you gonna win, that's just enough to make other people think I got a chance. Let me try it. I got a chance. You know what I mean?
But this thing that they're trying to do now with this new world order, I was talking to my partner about this many years ago.
Okay.
Because we we're in the financial industry, and very dangerous, man. When you have a whole bunch of people trying to control a global economy under one government, that is dangerous as shit.
Yeah.
Because the regulation is not going to be there. You know what I mean? And it's only going to be the top 1% or the half of a percent that's going to be running things like it is now.
Yeah.
But it's going to be disastrous. You know what I mean? And we see it happening.
Go ahead, brother.
We see it happening already. We've been seeing it if we've been around long enough for quite some time. But a lot of people were blind in one eye and couldn't see out the other. So a lot of things are happening, but a lot of people are being woken up and they can see stuff that's going on right now, but they're not knowing which direction to go in. But this didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? It didn't happen overnight.
Brother D, let me ask you, man. If they're telling us we're in a victim Olympics, and that's just from us asking for what the government said they was going to give us. In other words, I'm not asking you for something other than what you owe me. You owe me this because you said you're going to give it to me. So that's mine. I'm asking you for what's mine. I'm asking you to keep your word. I'm not asking you I'm not like the Afghans. I'm not asking you for other than what I'm owed. I'm not asking for a handout. Handouts are for people that you don't owe nothing to. You owe me. So how is it that, it's like the farmers. Nobody say those farmers that they paying to not grow crops are asking for handouts, right? They just giving what the U.S. government said they was going to give them. But we are always being put in this position where we're made to look like we're asking for something that's not owed to us. We just asking you to keep your word. So let me ask you, how then can we get around the situation where if they're not, let's say, now we got some brothers and sisters that's going to continue to ask, and our ADOS brothers and sisters, they can continue to push the line. But let's say the rest of us, what can we do to move past waiting on them to give us what we want, what we supposed to get?
I can attack that in several different ways. Malcolm X said the only way we can get around this is get away from white people. So we might separate. But how do you do that?
Okay.
But if we're not going to separate,
you talking about physically separate, correct?
Right.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Just outlining exactly what you're saying.
But also, you have to look at it from a different standpoint as well. Why in the hell are we asking somebody that spent 500 plus years depriving you of anything and everything, and you're expecting to get something from them? Why are we spending all this time in 2021 asking them to do something for you,
right,
that they clearly are not going to do?
Right. Or just don't have the intention, yeah.
And we still, 100 years from now, we might still be having the same conversation.
Right.
Why the white man won't give me this, that, and the third that we work for, this, that? They're never going to do that. They have no. The only way all of this stuff is going to disappear is when they disappear.
Right.
Because what's happening is they're trying to make us disappear so they don't have us to worry about and bring in the subscapes, the subclass, because we were the subclass.
Right.
Now I'm trying to bring in folks, and I'm not going to mention names because they might
right.
Your stuff down or flag you or whatever. But we know who that is. It's been all over the damn news, and they running us away.
Right.
And it's quite clear. You know what I mean? They want to keep their existence going, and we're no longer the subclass. They're trying to push us even further down.
Let me read a comment from your wife, brother. Sister G, we need to have the same mindset in business, and that is what our children need in early stages of lives. Learn to be the boss, not the worker. Yeah, you're right, Sister G. That's what we need. That's what we need. I feel the same way. You know what I mean? I feel like the only way we're gonna get around this stuff, is by teaching. I don't think. Remember, I was making I was bringing up the situation with Marcus Garvey, where white people were saying, well, if you don't like it here, go back to Africa. Okay, so Marcus Garvey had all the ocean liners. He had 2 big ocean liners set up to take black people back to Africa at places for us to go. And they got rid of the guy. They deported the guy because they just didn't want that to happen, right? So I don't know if they're going to allow it's going to be an easy walk where we can just say they're going to say, okay, well, you guys don't want to be here. Okay, see you later. I don't know if they're going to do it that way. I think the like you said, separate, but we're going to have to separate on a mental and spiritual sense, and where we're going to have to separate our thinking from their thinking, and we're going to have to accept our situation and say, no, like you said, there ain't nobody coming to help us. God has already given us the plan. Are we going to use it? We already got the plan.
Right.
Accept your own and be yourself. That was what God told us. Accept your own and be yourself. So if we ain't willing to work together, he said, pull your resources together and work together. So we got to pool our resources and work together. And that's, to me, is the quickest way we're going to get anywhere we need to get. But like you said, all of that ain't going to matter if we still think the same way as the people that, making money off of oppressing us. If we still think that same way, like we think success is the same thing that they think success is, and we're not gonna get anywhere as a group, and that's gonna be the problem.
But also, like I said, when we did the program, I don't know, last week, whenever we did it, one of the things we got to do is get out of the mentality of being a worker and start being an employer or a business owner. Now, you're always going to have workers because a lot of people don't want to be employers or, business owners. But what's wrong with us being employee of somebody that looks like us? What's wrong with that? A business owner, be an employer of another business owner. It's going to circulate in our community. You know what I'm saying? But we're around working on, go get a job, get all these damn school loans, get all these degrees so you can get a job to work for the white man. Because the white man is the one that owns all the damn businesses, the majority. We don't own any damn skyscrapers in Atlanta.
Oh, right.
But people is buying that shit up. And they don't look like us. I can tell you who's buying it.
Right.
Down there selling some of that shit. And they didn't look like us.
Right.
So that's the mindset. We got to change that mindset from just being a worker and being a business owner, or at least working for a business owner that looks like you.
Well, brother, see, now I'm gonna have to throw this qualifier out there to you, brother D.
Good.
You in Hotlanta, man. A lot of bustling black businesses. You can get up, go outside, and work for. Brother, me and this brother work. We live in Los Angeles.
Right.
It's not like that out here, brother. And I'm thinking in most major cities, it's probably not like that. Atlanta is probably the bubble that it is. And I think like you said, you should take advantage of that if you're able to. But a lot of our people,
what you think it is, because we don't own shit.
But what I'm saying is, I would think per capita, it's a lot more business owners, black business owners in Atlanta per capita than per capita in Los Angeles or Chicago or Philly or New York or whatever. It's a lot. You got a better chance or a higher probability of working for a black business owner than if you walked out your door out here in LA and try to find a black business owner. Good luck. If he's doing well enough to hire you, is he going to? Because he can get so much cheaper labor because of we're so close to the border, brother. They can just get people to come over here, and I know it's supposed to be $15 an hour, but they can pay them. They can structure it like it's $15 an hour, but they're really paying a person $10 an hour, right? And a person born here is going to say, "No, you ain't paying me. That's not minimum wage." But somebody come across the road over the border, they just gonna take what they can. You know what I mean? So it's a depending on where you are in the city. I mean, in the state, in the country, depends on how you can do that. I'm saying if you're in a place like Atlanta, where you got a lot of black business owners, take advantage of that. Like you said, take advantage of it. But there are some places, I'm just putting it out there, that's not going to be available to them. And the only thing to do is the only person that has a job for you out there is the white man. So what do you do? Okay,
nationwide. That's
you know what I'm saying. So what we're saying is, so I just wanted to add with what you're saying. If you ain't in a situation like what you're talking about, where you got all these black business owners, maybe you are not in a situation like out here in LA. What you can do is the Still Away. Elijah Muhammad had a program called the Still Away program. Mm-hmm. Even though you're working for the white man, you still away. You put some of your money away so that you can invest in your own business. He called it the Still Away program.
Right.
So that is something. Now I want you to talk about that, Brother D. Let's say even if I'm working for a black man, and I'm learning the business that he's in. Let's say, I'm a youngster. I come work for you, and I start learning the mortgage game. Then I finally figure out, okay, I can do this by myself. Talk about how to save money while you're working for somebody else, and then invest in yourself, and how to be able to do that.
Well, Brother Clarence, we already spoke about that. I'm gonna work on that program that we spoke of.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard for me to just say in a conversation, how do you fix the world? I can't fix the world over because essentially that's what you're talking about. Creating a whole nother economic dynamic that's
not the world, Brother D, just half the world.
well, even at that is not an overnight process. But
I understand, brother. I understand, brother. I just, because we about solutions here, man. And even though we are going to point out the problem, but I want us to always be dropping a solution here or there, so that people that listen to us don't think, oh man, there they go. They just gonna keep on and on and on. No, we're gonna offer you some solutions too at the end of the road. So, Brother Jarvis, do you think, man, like, hey, there's a solution to, or better yet, the Still Away program? Do you think that's an effective program for our people to use, no matter who they work for, black, white, red or yellow?
Well, like you said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he did teach that, and yeah, it has something that we have to do. We have to do it, and I work with younger people, and I know two younger people that one has a storefront and one has another business, and they're both in their 20s, mid 20s, and they have their own business on the side. So the Still Away program has trickled down. Now, where they got it from, I don't know, but somewhere in there, somebody taught them not only to steal away, but to go ahead and start it up. And it doesn't matter that who taught them, where they got it from. I know where they got it from. As long as they got it, and they're trying to use it. Now, another thing about the community, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this, but you know, uh, business is warfare. I heard Mr. Farrakhan say that business is warfare. Business is warfare, and it is. We have to look at it like that. So we're going to have to change our mindset too, because I know a sister who's about 10, 15 years my senior, and she had a friend who, like we all know in the black community, uh, hell, over 60, 70% of the sisters wearing weaves. Now the hair coming from somewhere. They buy it from somebody's store. All right. So it only makes sense that if we have our own beauty shop. That only makes sense, right? Only problem is, I know a sister, like I said, who I used to work with, who had a friend who opened up a beauty supply store. Come to find out, when she went to open up this beauty supply store, she couldn't get nobody's weave. They wouldn't sell to her. And she kept wondering, why won't nobody sell to me?
I was just getting ready to say that to you.
Yeah, one of the, it was an older lady, I think, pulled her to the side and told her, the reason why won't nobody sell to you, one, you're black. Like, what do you mean? She said, we have a pact amongst ourselves that we only sell amongst ourselves. And anytime you try to come into the fold, we get together, conspire each other, don't sell to her. She said, but I'm going to go out of business. She said, yeah, you are. And that's what we're doing. Don't tell them I told you this. And walked away. And that lady went out of business. You know why? Because business is warfare.
Yeah.
We're going to have to learn that and learn it quick. It's warfare. It's war out here. So when you come together, but your heart is so big as a people, as black folks, you always play the game fair.
Right.
Like you said, like going to Vegas. You go to Vegas and you go, oh man, we all at the table. Sometimes out of 10 of us, one of us win. But no matter what, the Houston took money from 9 of y'all. He let one of y'all win and keep holding. Houston took 90% of the money. He just gave back 10%. So the 90% think, I'm going to win one of these times. Yeah, but even if you do win, you ever notice you only win back your money. If you win back your money.
And you're giving it back.
So again, business, right. Business is warfare. Right. Business is warfare. We're going to have to start teaching. It's warfare. It's not going to be fair.
Right.
Look, that lady, she went out of business. We buying the weaves. Everybody she knows is black. We buying the weaves, but we don't the weaves. That don't make sense. Something's wrong here. Conspire. Right. They're not going to tell us that. They don't tell us. But the thing is, if we come together and say, you know what? I ain't going to buy another damn weave until my sister open up a shop right next to yours. Right. I ain't going to buy another damn shoe until my brother open up a shoe shop right next to yours. You know, because there's a reason why, and they teach you this in college. There's a reason why malls thrive. People think, oh man, you got all one place. It's all competition. No. Stores feed off of each other. Competition is good. We don't know that either. See, there's a science to everything. But we don't know the science to nothing. We just going along, not knowing that nothing is just so. Nothing's just so. So when she have a beauty shop, the Oriental person, we need to have a beauty shop. When the liquor store right there on the corner, we need to have a liquor store right there on the corner. And if it work out like it should work out, both liquor stores are going to make money. That's what we don't realize.
Yeah, man.
Well,
go ahead, brother.
To chime in off Brother Jarvis, one of the things is competition is competition, whether you want it to be or not. It's just what it is. You're always competing with somebody if you're in business, if you're at a job and you're trying to get another position or whatever. It's competition. Um, the difference is when you're in business, you have to have resources. So you're gonna have people you can chime into if you need to get this done, that done, or the other thing. And if you don't have a network, then you don't have no business. You just standing on your own. But a lot of people are not that look like us are not just building up networks. And a lot of people that you need to build a network with don't look like us, but they're all about business.
Right.
So business is the key. I could tell you like this: white folks can't stand each other, but when it comes to business, they will do all kinds of stuff, collect their funds, do whatever to make sure each business in that network succeeds. And then they go to the parking lot and talk shit
Right.
to deal with.
Got MF or yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So unfortunately, that's the warfare that I'm talking about that Brother Jarvis brought up. Business is competitional. It doesn't have to be confrontational,
Right.
but it's competitional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're in competition with anybody if you're in business. That's how you stay in business. And you need to study your opponent so that you know how to compete with your opponent. If you're a boxer, which I used to be, you don't sit there and not study the guy that you get ready to box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to study all his stuff, all his weaknesses, all his positives. And then you're going to prepare yourself so you can be above that and hopefully win the fight. That's what business is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you haven't read the Art of War, read that.
Very good book.
Right.
Read that.
Very good book. Yeah.
Right.
Brother, let me get to some more of these chats. Sister G, that's what Nipsey Hussle was doing and putting the neighborhood in charge and working. We just need to do it in silence. I agree with that one, Sister G. Be about it like the agents do. The agents don't make no big whoop-de-doo about nothing they doing, and they just move the ball down the line. Be about it, not talk about it. That's what the agents do, and I agree. Sister G, we don't need weaves or wigs. Use plant-based products made by us for us and grow our own crowns back. You right about that. Ditch the fake and be awake. Man, that was a good saying. I like that. I like that, Sister G. Sister G, I think I'm going to take that one from you. That's a nice one. I like that. I like that.
Oh, that's why she put that up.
Maybe somebody she knows said that already.
She just come out the box or whatever.
No, I like that. Ditch the fake and be awake. Yeah. Our sisters, unfortunately, brother, since we own weaves, let's talk about it. Our sisters, unfortunately, think that makes them look better than they actually look. You know what I mean? Like having that hair like that makes them look better. But they don't understand that they look weird to the rest of us. And it looks weird to us. And so they don't see it that way. And I think they don't understand. We're gonna chase you whether you got an arrow going through your head or not. We're gonna chase you. I mean, we're gonna look at you and admire your beauty and form. But you don't need that weave. You don't need that. And where does the weave come from? And how does it get to you? How is it made to where there's no bugs in it or anything like that? Or is it? How is it cleaned, and how is it? What's the process that it goes to get to the point where it's getting put into your head? See, we don't think about that stuff like that, man. And I did a video a long time ago about what's that sister's name? Oh my God, man. Sister wore weaves for like 20 years. And it pulled all her roots out of her head. Now she's bald headed. She gotta wear a wig now, right? That's because she didn't do like you supposed to. Maybe you have a weave in for a month or two, and then you let your hair grow back strong for 6 months. You know, you got to cycle it like that, like it's like steroids. If not, you're gonna be toe up. You're gonna pull all your roots out, and that's what the sister did. I forgot her name. Black sister pulled all the roots out of her head because they kept telling her you can't keep wearing weaves, and she just kept on doing it, and her hair kept going back and back and back and back and back, and it's just gone. You know what I mean? And so my thing is, if we're talking about weaves, what can we do to try to get our sisters to stop wearing weaves? Because if you look at, like you said, if you try to get, let's say you want a beauty supply store, who you gonna have to go to get the weave from? The Koreans, right? You don't have to go to them to get the stuff. Now they're gonna do one or two things. Either they're just gonna lock you out altogether, or they're gonna raise the price dramatically for you to get involved in the business. And they're not trying to do it. They're just protecting themselves, right? They're not wrong for doing that. They're protecting themselves. Like you said, business is warfare. I'm at war with you. If you're trying to get even a little piece of the market, we at war with you. Now it's a war. You just walked into it. So how do we get our sisters or what are y'all some suggestions that y'all could come up with to get them to see the war that's actually going on and the power they actually have to reverse this situation? What are some suggestions that we could do to educate them so that they will be motivated to say, you know what, I'm not going to buy from the Koreans. So if I can't buy from my sister, I ain't buying. That's it. Either one of y'all.
You want to start or?
No, go ahead, Brother D. I mean, well, I'll say this. I mean, what can we do? I mean, wow, man, I mean, that would have to be a collective effort to get to realize that okay, you know what? Unless something dramatic happens to where it's like, okay, you know what? They know about this story. It would have to be like a nationwide story. And revelation, you know what? They're locking us up. And there's a movement to where, as a community, we want to open up more businesses. And then get the sisters to say, look, I won't buy another damn weave until my sister get her beauty supply store open. Y'all don't want to sell to her? Well, we ain't buying nothing. But it would have to be advertised. Well, I know that I can get it out there. Something like that will be the final call. I don't know who else going to put it out there unless something dramatic happens. Somebody got to get killed.
Right.
That's
right.
to make the news.
But,
and it takes about what?
But why would the sisterhood do that, brother?
It takes about why?
Yeah, why would they do that? Why would they say we're not going to do that? I mean, if they could do that now if they wanted to, but they're not. So why would they do that? Like, what would motivate them to say, I'm going to handle it this way?
Again, unless one of us, like Black Lives Matter, to where the straw that broke the camel's back, it's okay, that's one life too many. Okay, we done now. Or it becomes, like I said, national news, or it's just the right time at the right place in this history to where it's like all of us, because sometimes you can have a good idea and that idea is out of time. And 10 years down the line, that same idea come along and it's like, boom, it takes off. It's like, I had that years ago. Y'all didn't want to do it then. So sometimes you got to wait. Sometimes an idea has to come at the right time. So I don't know. To honestly answer your question, I really don't know what would get the sisters to say, you know what? We're putting a freeze on all Korean, whoever merchants until our sister can open up her beauty supply. There's no reason why we don't have beauty supply stores. There's no reason why we don't have nail shops. Now, we used to. We got the hair salon.
Yeah, we used to have all that. Yeah.
Right. You're right. Until we want to be integrated. But that's another story.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why we don't have nail salons, beauty supply. I mean, we got the hair salons, because really they don't. Not only do they not want to do our hair, but they can't. Can't nobody do our hair but us.
Right.
In our hair. Other than barbershops in the church, what else do we got? But there's no reason why we shouldn't have a nail shop. I mean, you got Korean shops full of black women in there. What are sisters? Why come the sisters don't open up?
Right.
There's no reason why we shouldn't have it. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know. There's no reason why we should.
And it sounds good. It sounds good. What you're saying sounds good. I'm just saying, at the point, where's the crowbar that we could put in the sisters' hands to force them to say, hey, we all gonna stand together on this. We all gonna stand together, because it would have to be a nationwide thing. It couldn't be a thing where, we're just doing it in California and in Atlanta they're not doing it. It would have to be a nationwide thing, and they would all have to be stick to the program. But how would we get them to do it? That's the question. How would we motivate the sisters to do that?
And now, even if you got them, let's go here. Even if you got the sisterhood to do it, understand black folks. Let me tell you something about black folks. When you black and you got a business, and I'm black and I want to patronize your business, this is what I expect. And we're not wrong for this. This is what I want: a better product and or service at half the price, at least at first, until you have your own market. If you don't have a market, because I'm talking to a young sister about this lately. She wants to sell candles. I said, okay, why would I buy a candle from you? She said, because it's a good candle. That's not good enough.
Right.
Your competition is Bed Bath & Beyond, Bath and Body Works.
Right.
You're going to have to come out with a superior product at half the price.
Right.
If you got a superior product or service at half the price, I'll give you all my money. Because that's what we expect as black folks. When you get your market, then you can raise your price.
Exactly what Southwest Airlines did,
Okay, we don't understand that. I don't know how to answer your question. I mean, how will we get them to do it? It's got to be the right at the right time. I don't know. But go ahead, Brother D. I'm sorry.
I don't know. My commentary on that is whenever you have a problem, it always has a solution. But you got to understand where the problem derives from. I'm sorry.
You got to understand what, Brother D?
I'm sorry, I got distracted. You got to understand where the problem derived from before you can answer a question. So where did the problem come from? Okay. And I think we have a lot of socialized, economic, and acrimonious stuff going on, circling around us all the time, right?
Right.
So what's happening is people psychologically are being disturbed to think a certain way, and this is what you need to do, this, that, and the third. Because I'm sure all these women out here buying all that weave didn't have a whole bunch of dudes saying, hey, I prefer you to have weave,
right,
eyelashes, fake fingernails. They didn't get it from us.
Right.
So it was acrimoniously injected into their heads that this is what you need to do. But it ain't coming from us.
But where's it coming from, bro? Where's it coming from?
White folks. Because they're putting that stuff out there.
How is it coming from white folks?
Advertising. Every time they turn the TV on, they say this is what you're supposed to look like. This white chick. And then you start seeing all these damn black chicks with blonde fucking hair.
Yeah.
And they out here getting all this damn surgery, but they beautiful as hell. Look at Lil' Kim. She had money. What'd she do? She looked like Catwoman. K. Michelle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who told them to do that all of a sudden? We weren't doing that before.
Right.
Because it's social.
Right.
You know, injections
normalized it.
They're getting. And then I know a whole lot of chicks that own a whole lot of beauty salons. And they charge an arm and a leg to do that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I also know a whole lot of people that sell that damn hair. Right. And a whole lot of people that break in them damn stores to steal that shit.
Right.
For $5,000 a pack.
Right.
And these bros go pay $20,000 to get the stuff done. So why is that? That's a social behavior. You know what I'm saying? That has been injected in our community. It has nothing to. We're not out there as guys telling our women to go out there and get all this fake stuff. Right. This is social behavior that they've decided. If we told women that we need you to wear a flower pattern on their head, they would be out there trying to figure out what size and what color, right? But we're not telling them that. They're being socialized. We tell them to go get a flower pot, or I mean, methodically, huh?
We who? You mean us as black men?
Black men.
Okay.
Not telling them to go out here, but black women make up a multi-trillion-dollar economy for the Europeans and the Asians.
Correct.
Because they're the ones running it. And I know women that even own beauty, supply stores.
Correct.
But they won't even go in them stores because they know it's not a Korean standing behind the counter.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's social and psychological that's been implanted in them ever since they were young. When you start seeing all this weave and stuff, the last 20, 30 years or something like that?
Right.
That you didn't see that stuff. You had chicks sitting on a porch doing hair.
Right.
And they didn't bring no weave to the table. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you a question, brother. I hear what you're saying about white people made it look good to have long blonde hair. But what was the point at which black women as a mass said, this is a good situation? Was it when, like I said, that chick that was a model, when they saw models wearing that kind of stuff, or when they saw it advertised, like just your wife said, magazines, commercials, plastic surgery, etc.? Was it just, what was the point at which it took off, and how come we can't get the lid back on it? Our brother Jarvis, the FBI calling him.
He ain't that hard knock. Only people knock like that is the police or the criminal.
That's an old nation joke.
But like I said, it was socially engineered.
Yes.
Into certain, because marketing is the science of reaching your customer, right?
Correct.
And you have to know your market. So if I'm selling real estate, why the hell am I over here trying to sell vegetables? If real estate is what I'm selling, I need to go where people want to sell real estate, or I need to be selling vegetables. But you have to study your market. Jarvis mentioned that you got to know your market. So you got to put that product in front of them as much as you can. Your market.
Right.
Wherever everybody's not in my market. I'm in the real estate and finance market. They're not in my market. But if I'm going to advertise, I have to advertise in my market. And most people are not interested in my product or services.
Right.
Only certain people. So that's what spears a lot of this stuff, because a lot of these chicks talk to each other and they get in their head, I got to look like this. Because women are very competitional,
right?
Because they see one chick walk in with this, they got to outdo that. I'm gonna get that too,
right?
And then you have all these other people that look at them and say, this, that, and third. It's not coming from us though. You know what I mean? They're always trying to outdo the other chick. So, and then they're always putting it in their face, and they feel like that's what they got to get, and that's what they got to have. So I think that's where all of that comes from. As far as a solution, I don't think.
How do Brother D? How do we get? See, we as men, we saying, okay, just don't buy it no more. But it's that easy for us. How do we get them to say, yeah, you're right. We need to be on the same page so that we can bring this business into, the Koreans be forced to do business with us. They won't be able to do business without us in the middle. So how do we get the sisterhood to see that and stand with us to have that, no weave day or whatever?
If we can't get them to put a hot plate on the table, it's gonna be hard to tell them. Or go change that damn baby's diaper. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. If they ain't willing to do normal shit, they not listening to us. They listen to other shit.
Right.
So how do we change them? I don't know.
I don't think we can change them
from us.
I don't think we can change them, brother. But I think we got a better chance of motivating them. Now, I don't think we can necessarily change them. I think time is going to show that weaving and doing those weaves all the time, because they're gonna get their roots pulled out, and then they're gonna say, "Oh man!" And then the other young sisters, they're gonna say, "Oops, I don't want that to happen to me, so I'm not gonna do that." You know what I mean? But until the time comes, we trying to say, "Hey, we can have this business. We can control this business. We are this market. We are the market. Ain't nobody else buying weaves like that, right? If we're the market, then how come we can't get the sisterhood to say, hey, don't buy no more weave, don't buy nothing until they we put up a row of people to buy this stuff, unless they sell it to us at a good price and a decent price, we're not gonna do business with you anymore."
Here's what I think. Here's what I think.
Okay.
You mentioned the sisterhood. That's where the shit started from in the first fucking place.
Right.
They're the ones trying to outdo each other. They getting in the goddamn clusterfucks with each other and saying, "Yeah, girl, I did this, I did that. I'm gonna buy this." And that's where they get the psychology from.
Yeah.
They go get it. We're not sitting in. Most guys are saying, "Don't go get that."
Right.
I don't like that. I want you to be natural. I want to see my queen in a natural effect. I don't want to see no fake eyelashes, this, that, and the third. Yeah. It's the cadre of women that get together that think the same way, and that's what the industry is feeding off of.
Right.
Is that cadre of people that are not having a conversation. What they do, they just going out with them girls and saying, "We're going out tonight, and it's how we need to look," because they seen some broad on ratchet ass TV with all that bullshit on
Instagram,
and that's advertisement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they wasn't doing that before, and everybody want to look like them. Everybody want to come in there looking like they the most ridiculous chick instead of like the queen that they should be.
Right.
That's where they get this stuff from.
Right.
And they teach this stuff to the little girls, and that's what the little girl. They make sure the little girls is plastered in front of that crap, watching these stupid ass shows.
Right.
So, it's not coming from us, brother, and the solution ain't gonna come from us. You need to talk to your woman and say, "Hey, this ain't what I'm dealing with."
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if they out there, they don't have a man, or they trying to get one, they think that's what they need to get one, but they're not talking to dudes.
And most of them don't have no man. Most of them don't have no man.
Right. But that's their supposedly advertisement to get a man, and they're rejecting them. But it's only a certain type of dude you're going to attract with that kind of stuff. And it ain't the dude they're looking for.
Right.
He's just trying to smash and run.
Right. Right. I feel like, that's true. The weaves is definitely, there's definitely a problem, health-wise, as much as it is. It puts the women in a position where she feels, because I have this weave in my head, I don't have to work on any other attributes of my personality.
Right.
Because they love me so much because I got this weave in. Therefore, I don't need to be a better person. I don't need to work on my character. and that's wrong. That's bad too. And by the time they figure out that, yeah, men want you to be with you sexually, but if they're looking for something longer term, they're gonna want more than just the sex. And your character is gonna make a difference. And if you have a bad character, it's like yesterday, brother. Yesterday, I was on my way home, man, getting my hair cut, man. And nice. Thanks, sir. I was on my way home, brother, and I stopped into this Carl's Jr. parking lot, right? Because I was trying to listen to your the broadcast that you did, brother, about that credit. So I was trying to set that up, but I was having problems with my connection. So I was like, okay, let me pull over instead of trying to drive and do it at the same time. Let me pull over. So pull over in this Carl's Jr. parking lot, and I see somebody. Just it looks like it could have been a girl or a guy, I don't know, but I thought it was a girl. And what they was doing was they were like a couple of spaces down from me. And what they was doing was throwing all the trash into, they had like a little grass or plant thing up against the wall, right? So they were just throwing their trash up in there. And I said to myself, wow, this person just throwing their trash in there. That is crazy. That's crazy. So who would go out with a person, and what are you gonna get from a person that's that nasty that they would just throw their trash can ain't even 20 feet across the walkway, but just because you're too lazy to get up out of your seat and go over there and throw it away, you're gonna just throw it away and throw it in the trash. But see, stuff like that will show you the kind of character that a person have, right? People got character, and if you just let them, they'll show you the kind of character they have. Now,
well,
go ahead, bro.
Here's the problem that I see.
Okay.
What's going on right now? If you take a W and cut it right down the middle, you're gonna have two V's, right?
Right.
Vanity and vagina. That's what they're operating on.
Okay.
Vanity and vagina. Okay. They think that's all they need to worry about. Not character, not education, not keeping the house clean, not doing any of that. Right. That's it. And that's how they operate till they leave. Right. They operate like that's all that matters. Vanity and vagina.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. But they losing, brother. How can you say it? It reminds me of just it reminds me of somebody that's losing, man, and they just won't accept they losing. Like you focus so much on the vanity of it and the fact that you're a female with a vagina, that's all I need. I got everything I need. I don't have to improve nothing. I don't have to improve none of my talents, none of my skills, nothing. I just gotta just be, because I got the golden vagina. And of course, every one of them thinks, no offense, Sister G, but almost all of your compadres feel like they got the golden vagina. They can just do whatever they want. And men are supposed to fall at their feet.
Right.
And it ain't even a good woman. I mean, I can see you doing that for a good woman. Right. Ain't even a good woman. Right.
Right. Because they're missing other qualities.
How do we see, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do we start when if we're gonna turn this thing around? Where do we start when we say, hey, you know what? That ain't everything. Because if we're going to be a better people, well, I will say this. Let me qualify what I'm saying. Nothing is going to be turned around until the black man turns around. Until he is willing to turn himself around and say, okay, enough of this nonsense. Let's work together. Let's get together. Let's pool our resources. Let's get a goal, and let's get ready. See, a lot of times our people think, oh, I got good intentions. I got a good goal. I'm going to just go do it. Ain't nobody going to come after you. No. Mr. Farrakhan told me, man, if you try to do something good, don't worry. You're going to see some hard times. They're coming, right? Somebody's going to come after you if you're trying to do something worthwhile. So don't think, but our people get distracted. They say, oh, well, since opposition came my way, this must not be for me. Because if it was for me, I could walk up to the fruit tree and just pick a fruit off the tree and it wouldn't no problem. No. You're going to have to fight the dog on the way over there. You're going to have to look out for boards with nails in them. You're going to have some issues to deal with to get over to that apple to pull it out of the tree. It ain't going to be just, I just pull up a tree, right? Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They said, this dude is a prophet. The people was like, this, you call this dude a prophet? How come apples don't fall out the sky for him? How come oranges don't fall out the sky for him? Even he got to work, right? Even he got to do so. Even he's going to face opposition. Just because he faced opposition don't mean he ain't, the prophet of God. You know what I mean? So even the prophet's going to have opposition, right? So our people don't understand that. They think if they got opposition, oh, I ain't supposed to do this because it's hard. Everything I'm supposed to do is supposed to be easy. And it's not like that, especially our women. So we got to figure out a way. If we're going to take this thing over, and I'm just using the weave example. If we're going to take that business over, which is a good business for us to have, if our sisters do, I mean, until they get over it, I agree with Sister G. Our women do need to see that natural beauty is superior to everything. Everything. Of course it is, Sister G. That's why they don't want you to have it. They don't want you to put it out. If our sisters, if the black woman just focused on her natural beauty, she would blow every woman off the planet. Boom, just blow her mind off. So they get you saying, oh, you ain't good enough. Here's some blonde wigs. You ain't good enough. Here's a butt implant. Here's a breast implant. Here's this, here's that. They got all this stuff for you to try to make you think that you look good now, or you look better than you did in your natural state. They just don't understand, brother. And this is a part. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
That goes back to the social.
Oh, accident outside my office, brother. I was like, what the heck was that?
That was a car accident?
Yeah, car accident, man. I heard you hear bang. I heard it right there.
No, I didn't hear.
Ouch. Holy smokes.
But a lot of people have low self-esteem. So if they don't have self-esteem about themselves, then they'll try to do things to accessorize and overemphasize that they, are accessible and that they're attractive, because maybe they've been told they weren't this, that, and the third. But if somebody have low self-esteem, I mean, if they have it, it's kind of hard for a guy to walk up to them and tell them, you don't need that, this, that, and the third. Unless she gets a dude and he approaches her, tells her, I don't want you to have all that crap on.
Yeah, but
he actually loves her, and she sees that, and he's really into her, then she will change. A woman is going to change her attitude based on the dude that she's dealing with.
Right.
If he's a real dude. If he's a BS dude, good luck. That ain't gonna happen.
But see, brother, this is the part that's challenging. Our sisters don't listen to us.
They don't.
Because most of them feel like I'm smarter than you. Why am I gonna listen to you? And listen, I got men in my DMs every day. How you gonna tell me this ain't working for me? And you trying to tell them they just trying to have sex with you. They're not trying to wife you up. Don't you realize that? Stop putting men trying to have sex with you in the same bag as men that's trying to marry you. They don't go in the same bag. But they count them as the same. They count everybody is the same. No.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do like us, right? You need to do like we do as men, right? We don't count women that we trying to bag and when we trying to wife in the same box. We don't put them in the same box, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only two separate That's two separate classes of women, right?
Mm-hmm.
One box is very light, the other box is very heavy, right? But the one box is very light because we got to be very specific about what we need when we talk about marrying somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they will count dudes that's trying to sleep with them or get at them or message them as like that's a person that's trying to marry me. No, this person just trying to get at you to have sex with you. So that doesn't necessarily mean that your weave is what's attracting them. What they see in your weave is um, they see behavior that would lead them to believe that you're more likely to be sexual, right? If you want to take the time,
to protect a lot of times they're trying to protect
what? What'd you say, brother?
I said that's what they're trying to project a lot of times. It's trying to be more sexual, and because, like I said, a lot of them, their self-esteem is shot. So when they come back outside, they feel like they got to overdo things. They got to do this, do that, third.
Right.
But they never consulted with us. They consulted with the other homegirls to have the same damn problem.
Right.
You got a room full of chicks that self-esteem is gone. Right. So they're trying to go buy something, and think that that's going to be more attractive, but it's really detractive.
Right.
Unless we tell them as guys, they're not, you know what I mean? They ain't going to pay attention to that.
But, okay, so what tactics could we use? For example, could we use shame? Could we shame them into not doing that and rolling with the program that we're trying to set up? Could we use shame? Could we use insults? Could we use what tactics could we use? Or could we use education? Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna let.
Or could we use
Jarvis take this?
Huh? Brother Jarvis, brother. FBI is calling him, brother. The boys are on his trail, man. I don't know how long he's gonna be around, man. He got to get up and go, get up and go, get up and go, get up and go. But anyway,
I don't think realistically it's anything we could say to a female as a guy,
right?
You know what I mean? To steer her away from what she's gathered from her groupie friends or whoever she groups up with. I don't think, because they're gonna wind up, doing whatever. But if you have a female, for example, and you're spending time with her or whatever, then you have to do that individually. I don't think it's something we can do in a mass situation to get chicks on a different page.
You don't think we can make a? You don't think, Brother D, we can make a movie, or we can make a movie or a play or something that would accentuate the things that we're saying and put them in a light? I didn't even finish, Brother D. Hold on, man.
They not listening. No matter what.
You don't think it's gonna happen, huh, Brother D? You don't think we can do it?
They ain't gonna listen to you.
Yeah, you're right.
They only want to listen to other chicks that feel the same way, that agree with everything that come out their mouth, whether it's right or wrong. That's what they listen to. They don't care about reason. They don't care about anything that makes sense. The only thing that makes sense is everybody in the room agreeing with them, and they all going out tonight and go hit the club.
Okay, how about this? Can we attack it from the other end of the barrel of the gun? Can we go and say to the brotherhood, hey, if you're dating somebody with a weave, leave her alone. Drop her right now. Don't mess with her. If you're married to her, that's different. But if you dating somebody and she got a weave, you got to tell her either the weave or me. Could we get guys to do that?
It was a time when I was in the dating scene way, way, way back I wouldn't even talk to a chick if I saw her smoking or I knew she smoked.
Right. Same here, man.
Wouldn't talk to her.
Same
If she had children, I wouldn't talk to her if they weren't mine. You know what I'm saying? No conversation. But after a while, I start finding out that most chicks got kids.
Right.
And they ain't mine.
Right.
A lot of them smoke.
Right.
Am I giving up what I like because of the smoke and the kids? No. So yeah, I had to change my attitude.
Okay.
But I couldn't tell them to stop smoking. I could tell them that I don't desire that, and I choose not, that situation. So that's all we could do as men. We could just tell them, hey, that's not, I was cool with you till you showed up with that damn weed. We don't have to do it like that. But just tell them what you're doing right.
Well, what you got to say about that, Brother Jarvis? Can we, the question I asked Brother D is, can we attack this from the other end of the stick? Can we, instead of going to the females saying, you need to stop with the weaves, can we go to the brotherhood and say, okay, if since they won't stop going to the Koreans on their own, let's stop dealing with them that actually go there and get their hair weaved up. Do you think the brothers would step in and be in solidarity with that?
No. That's not gonna happen.
Why not, brother?
I mean, no. I mean, it's an unreasonable request. The very best you could do is ask the brothers, and as a community to get together and come to some kind of agreement that, as a whole, we deal with the Koreans or not deal with the beauty supply store because we can't open up our own. That's the very best you could ask. To ask a man, give up a woman, you crazy.
Brother Jarvis, Brother Jarvis, this is not gasoline we talk about. This is hair weave. This ain't something that we gotta have. This is not a necessity. This is not gasoline. This is not food. This is hair weave. It's totally 100% unnecessary. You don't think the brotherhood would say, let's get together so in the long run, we gonna win. In the long run, we'll win. Because if we pull the rug out of this market, then it's just like the bus boycott. The bus boycott where they pulled the rug out of the white bus companies, right? Oh, you gonna make us sit in the back? That's it. Okay, we're not doing it no more. Now you done went too far. You made a hardworking lady. You put her in jail because she wouldn't go sit in the back of the bus. Okay, that's it. We're done. Does something like that have to happen for our sisters and our people to say, okay, enough is enough? We're not gonna buy from you anymore.
Yeah, a last straw. I mean, something like that has to happen. Where that's the last straw. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. In order for that to happen, that would happen. But other than that, asking the brotherhood as a whole, get a woman, hell no, that ain't gonna happen. No. I mean, they could talk to him and say, I don't like it. I mean, brothers don't like weaves and makeup. No how. We don't care about makeup. We don't care about weaves. Matter of fact, we'd rather have that you didn't have it. They still wear it. And if you talk to them, they do it.
Sister.
They do it for you.
Sister G just dropped a bomb on us, man. Let me read her comments real quick. Hold on. And I want to let you finish, Brother Jarvis. The females I've spoken with know that intelligence, character, honesty, and integrity and will always be what really matters, period. Yeah, but Sister G, that's you. We need more like you. That's the problem. We don't have more like you. We got less like you. Sister G, bring back the Afro Sheen commercials. You're right about that. So glow. You're right about that. Okay, now, Brother D, your wife just dropped a bomb on us now. Okay, hold on. Sister G, nowadays men are getting extensions as well. Go ahead, Brother Jarvis. What do you got to say about that, brother? What do you got to say about that?
Yo, I saw some videos because I watch a lot of barber videos because I got a lot of barbers that I know that own barber shops, and I know a lot of women that have hair salon. They go to Bronner Brothers, I think it's called, do the hair shows and stuff like that. Yeah. And I saw a man weave.
What is a man weave, brother? Please explain that to me, Brother D.
Whoa. They had dudes coming in there that were bald.
Oh, yeah.
And they went in there and they come out with high top fades.
Right. I think they had did a study on Steve Harvey had that. I think so. Yeah.
Steve used to wear that.
Yeah, you're right.
Back in the day.
You're right.
And then he did the bald thing. But
yeah.
But I don't know. White folks seem like they more attached to their hair than we are. I mean, you see, I got the male pattern going. I take the hell off, then I'll shave it off.
Lucky enough. You know what, brother D, hold on. I'm gonna let Brother Jarvis. Brother Jarvis got to step out, so I'm gonna let him go. FBI is on him. The CIA. Everybody's trying to chase him down, man. Alphabet Boys. So I'm gonna let him get on out of here so he can go ahead and get interrogated in that office. Brother Jarvis, you got any final words, brother?
Just real quick, Victim Olympics is a play on words. It's not really us, It's a shame. It's like when Reagan wanted to reform the welfare system, and he used the term welfare queen, and took a black woman,
I know you're not talking about the Honorable Ronald Wilson Reagan, brother. I know you're not talking about the Honorable Ronald Wilson Reagan. On this program?
Don't ever put honorable.
Right.
One thing you're right about that, man. You can't use those two words in the same sentence, Honorable Ronald Reagan. What about dishonorable? Maybe that
There you go. But out of respect for the dead, may he rest in hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's like when Reagan took, an oversized or an overweight black woman and labeled her the welfare queen. Yeah. But it's like, but more of you all are on welfare than we are. But you're going to take a black face and label her
49%
the welfare queen.
49% of them,
and then benefits. Yeah, and that on us.
Yeah.
Or like Nixon did in his meetings.
49% of the welfare benefits are received by them. That's what I meant to say.
Right. Or like Nixon with the backroom deals said demonize all of the black men and everything that they do. So, and on that, that's about it. Let me go. I gotta answer this call.
Yeah, man, go ahead, man, and tell them all the stuff we've been doing, man, so that you can maybe they give you a good sentence, brother. All right, Brother Jarvis. That was Brother Jarvis. Peace to him. Let him get out of here, man, because you see, somebody's after him. Anyway, all right, brother. Your wife said nowadays men are getting extensions. You said you had saw that. I'm sure in Atlanta, man, they're all over the place. You can't get away with that in Cali, man. Cali, they'll clown you out of here, man.
Let me tell you something. I saw YouTube videos where dudes was getting it done.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that video too. Yeah, I think I saw that too.
They had this.
Yeah.
He was on a game. This chick was hooking these dudes
Yeah.
up in there. And I was like, wow, they came in there all jacked up and they was paying like $300-$400. And they still got to get it done again in a winter
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
But I mean, shit, it, you know, I I personally wouldn't do something like that, but that is something I really can't. I don't look at it the same as I do with the women, only because the women's market is so huge, and they could actually take take that market over. You can imagine if
overnight.
overnight, brother. You imagine if every black woman that's got a weave or got some type of beauty product said, we are not going to buy from anyone except another black person. Just like they do, just like the Koreans do. We're not going to buy from anybody except Koreans, right? Mm-hmm. We're not going to buy from anybody except a black person. The Koreans wouldn't be bent out of shape because they understand this is business. They wouldn't be bent out of shape. They would just maneuver into something else. Yeah, right? They would just maneuver into something else. But our people, man, we feel like, oh man, we would be doing the Koreans a disservice by doing that to them. We would collapse their market, right? Our people feel that way because we are generally good people, brother. We are by nature, we are fair people, man. And so we feel like, man, wow, I would be doing wrong to them. We don't even understand. It's better to be good, to take care of your own self first, then somebody else. But that's how crazy we are, man. That's how crazy we are. Anyway, brother, let me run down the line and catch up with your wife. She's making a lot of good points here. Sister G, man weave, man purse, man booze. Oh, Sister G, did you have to say man booze? Sister G, come on. Sister G, I think of Reagan just like his co-star Monkey's name, Bozo, or was it Bonzo? You know what? You're right. I don't know. It might have been Bonzo.
I think it was Bonzo.
Me and Brother Jarvis been running hard at Ronald Reagan for at least 20, 30 years. We've been running hard at him. You know what I mean? So that's an inside joke between he and I. I called him that's his favorite president because, man, we've been running at Reagan so hard. You know what I mean? Reagan did so many different things. You know who? Let me, since we talking about Ronald Reagan, remember, brother, when we were coming up, because we're not that far apart in age. You're a little younger than me, brother, but we're not that far apart. We're not that far apart in age, brother. So you might be able to relate to this. When I was coming up in the 70s, we were coming up in the 70s, brother. They had all these different educational programs that came on TV, right? Mm-hmm. Why? Why did they do that? Because there was so many working women, working families, brother. Both parents were working. So the government understood that if you got the more educational programs you got on TV at home, the less children gonna be out in the street doing all kind of mischief, right? Guess who came in and knocked that down? Ronald Reagan took all that money away from there. Ronald Reagan cut that money and took it, right? Where did he give it to? He gave it to the savings and loans. He put that money out into the street so that the savings and loans would have it to use to go out there and do loans, right? And then they did them just like they did them in 2006, 2005, 2004. You don't need no ID, no nothing. You just come on in, sign your name, and get a loan, basically, right?
And you guys,
people don't even bring up the savings and loan debacle, bro.
No,
they don't even bring that up.
They don't even know about it.
That is what caused the Wall Street the Wall Street in what do they call that? The Wall Street fall in 1989. Yeah, that's what caused that. It was the savings and loan debacle. He don't get mentioned about that. They don't even bring that up. But my point is, man. But my point is about Reagan, man. Reagan was the one at a critical time. It was a critical time for us, especially in the Black community, where we had like a lot of single parents and a lot of parents that were working. They used to come home, brother. I used to come home out here in California. There used to be a show where you could call in. Hey, can you help me with this math problem? on KCET, they would do your math problems on TV, right there on TV, right? You remember that? Okay. Reagan came in, cut all the funding for all of that. Took that money and put it out on the street for the savings and loans.
And the recreation centers, let's not forget them. They
Which
closed
one?
all the recreation centers as well.
What's the recreation center?
A recreation center.
Yeah,
basketball. You may go get arts and crafts. You might get tutored.
Exactly, right? Killed all that, right? Meanwhile, his wife is running around saying, just say no, right? Just say no.
Right?
Just say no. Just say no. I know you live in the projects here.
Blacks.
I know you live in the projects here in Philly. My mother was from McKeesport. I know you live out here in the projects in McKeesport and Duquesne. Oh, yeah, just say no. I know there are little jobs out here in Detroit. Just say no. I mean, she just out here running around saying, just say no, right? I used to work at their mansion up there in, it was on my route, their mansion out there in Bel Air. And exquisite place. But I mean, they are so far removed from what they were saying. They're so far removed from the actual lives that our people were living, man. But he did let me get back to Reagan. He did a critical thing, man. See, when the crack came in, he further exacerbated that situation by destroying this situation where we had all of this education that we was getting for free. We was getting educated, well, kind of free because you're paying taxes, but it's for free. You're getting the education. You ain't paying on the front end. Mm-hmm. But it's education, and it was keeping the children, like you said, in the rec centers, boys and girls clubs. You was doing the homework or you was watching educational programs at home, even if you was a latchkey kid like me. I had a big shoelace and a key around my neck. Yeah, you was able to come home and watch programming like that till your parents got home. It was a quasi babysitter, but it was putting your mentality, putting your mind on doing better things, right? Mm. Reagan takes that away, brother. Reagan takes that away. Now that's crack comes into the situation.
Yep, that's the shit hit the fan, and the 80s came in. I was part of that, by the way.
Huh?
I was part of that.
You're part of what?
Bringing it in when the crack epidemic kicked off.
Yeah.
I was.
How were you a part of that, brother D? Explain that.
So I was a narcotics officer.
Okay.
And we went overseas. I can't give too much detail, but
yeah.
Long story short, went overseas. They told us we was going to burn everything in place.
Okay.
Instead, they said change your plans. We're going to load everything on pallets, and we're going to put it on airplanes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Where's this shit going, though? They never told us.
Right.
So they had planes taking off like this, like line up.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, they come out with this program called the War on Drugs.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we got all this dope in all the black neighborhoods nationwide.
Yeah.
I was a part of that. So
yeah,
I know where it came from.
Yeah.
But and I'm not proud of that, but I didn't know that wasn't the way it was supposed to go down.
Yeah.
And this country ain't been shit. It wasn't shit from the get-go, but it really went down the tubes.
See, that money was for us. Mm-hmm. Just like, we always talk about how Martin Luther King, why he was killed. Why was he killed? Why was Martin Luther King killed? We know why. Well, let's back up. Why was Malcolm X killed? Go ahead, brother.
Do we know who killed Martin Luther King? It was 2 Marine Corps snipers.
Well, according to them, it was Oswald, right?
Nah.
According to the government, right?
He was the fall guy.
But that has been proven wrong. That has been proven wrong, factually wrong. But I'm just saying, the government's their public stance is Lee Harvey Oswald, right? Okay, that's their public stance.
Right.
But anyway, let me get back. Let me get to Malcolm before I forget.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll give you a chance to respond, Brother D. So Malcolm X, why was he killed? He was killed because they say, the Nation of Islam was going to kill him because he was threatening Elijah Muhammad. Please. Malcolm never even had over 500 or 600 people listening to him. Elijah Muhammad had hundreds of thousands of people listening to him. So he wasn't threatened by Malcolm's. But Malcolm, now I'm not telling you saying Malcolm wasn't a good orator. He was. He was a very good orator, very smart, but the point is, Elijah Muhammad wasn't threatened by him enough to say, hey, y'all go and, no. Elijah Muhammad would say, leave him alone. Leave Malcolm alone. Don't touch him, right? So it wasn't us. Who was it? Well, Malcolm was trying to take the plight of Black Americans to the UN. That's what got him killed. He was trying to go into the UN and take the situation and say, hey, America is over here pointing their finger at all you guys in the UN, and look what they got going on in their backyard. And he was trying to do that, and that's why they wouldn't let him in France, because they knew that they was trying to poison him, and they ended up poisoning him. I forgot where they poisoned him at. Was Egypt? They ended up poisoning him somewhere. He landed, and then those two white CIA agents was following him around everywhere. But the point is, that's why they killed him. Now moving on to Martin Luther King. Why did they kill Martin Luther King? Killed Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King started speaking out against the Vietnam War. That money that they was throwing into the Vietnam War, that everybody knew they couldn't win, was supposed to be for programs that they had told Martin Luther King, we're going to do this program, we're going to do all these programs for Black people, not for minorities, not for people of color, not for, the blue, red, and the green, for Black people. So they ended up, and he started getting the buzz, they got rid of him. Now, getting back to us, they took care of those two guys. Now, what they did was they recognized that we had a lot of people getting jobs in the 70s. They made some concessions. They said, okay, we're going to start opening jobs up and start letting Black people be in jobs like yourself, be decorated military vets, and start carrying major weapons. And then they're gonna let you work at the post office and for the city and the county and all of that. They started making some concessions, right? So now there's two people working, your wife and you working. Mm-hmm. There's nobody home and a lot of latchkey kids. That's what they used to call us, latchkey kids. So you go home and you open up the door and you go in and you eat something and then you start doing your homework by the TV, right? Like we said, Reagan took care of all of that and got rid of all of those educational programs. So what happened? Like you said, the crack came in and was like gasoline on that situation, man. Mm-hmm. Boom, blew it up. Now you got closed rec centers, and then you got places like Detroit where it's just the economy is depressed. There is no jobs. There's nothing for nobody to do except buy drugs. Right. That's the economy.
Or sell it.
Right? Now we got this situation. So I'm saying it all has progressed from this situation from about the 70s on to where we at now, where our people are so far diluted, man. They're just gone. And I forgot, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I forgot I said I was going to let you finish the statement you was making. So go ahead, Brother D, finish what you were saying.
No, you good. You good. I was just saying, this stuff goes way back beyond Reagan. It goes
right
beyond Nixon. It goes, to our parents' period of time. But chronologically, they kept this stuff going and they kept it in place. They call it white supremacy today.
But I don't agree
white
with that.
Privilege. I don't call it white supremacy. And they just want to keep that going. And because that's their way of life. That's what they used to. After slavery really didn't end, they just transferred it into something else, which is what we're living in now. And incarcerate our Black men at any cost, and make sure they don't go home and have families like they did have.
Well, can you recognize we recognize when they started they meaning the American government started licensing and letting private prisons start dealing with inmates. Did you notice that the arrest and conviction rate for black inmates, you already ahead of the game, huh?
I'm
They started going up, right? Started going up. I mean, shooting dramatically. It's so bad, man. It was a judge out there, and not just this one dude, but I mean, this is the one case I remember where they was watching this dude for 2 years, man. They was watching this guy for 2 years, and him and a buddy of his had a private prison. I don't know if it was back east somewhere. I don't know if it was Pittsburgh or I don't know where it was. I forget now. But this was a couple of years ago. It was a judge, and he was black kid coming in his courtroom. Boom, 2-3 years, bam, go, bye. White kid coming there, probation. So they just started looking at all of his cases. They said, wait a minute, all of the white kids are getting probation for the same crimes. What, black kids automatically going to this camp, automatically. And they're like, damn, what's going on? They found out that the camp was giving the judge kickbacks from the camps, right? Because they obviously getting money from the government to run the camp. They giving the judge the kickbacks. He was making millions of dollars, brother.
Yeah.
Just sitting there going, don't even want to hear the case. Yeah, you're right. Gone, bye. But I'm just think that's only one guy that got caught. I mean, it's been lots of guys that got caught like that.
I went in.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
I went into a courtroom several years ago, and because in law enforcement, you're always in court,
right?
And I walk in, and just like most courtrooms all across America, everybody that's a defendant is black,
right?
Everybody that's white is wearing badges or robe,
right?
So this guy literally comes in late. He's a judge, white dude. He walks in, he looks around like this. Sits down, picks up his pen, had his files of all the cases that are coming up, and starts writing. He never lifted his head the whole time because he saw it was nothing but black people in there. And he was saying, guilty. And he was literally slaying the files. Guilty to the court, clerk.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ain't never seen no bullshit like that. At least they try to play the role.
Right, you know what I
mean? He's like, I don't even give a shit. I'm that racist. I was like, why did you even come in here if that's what you're going to do? Nobody was not found guilty because everybody was black. He didn't want to hear the case. They be reading the case off. They had a public pretender. Right. And that's how that went. That was the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen in the courtroom. Hopefully he's not a judge anymore.
And it's sad, man, because when you in there and you watching the black defendants coming here, and they got a public defender, and the public defender just sits
there.
Pretender, right? and they just plead them out, man. They just sit there pleading them out. And so you like, damn, but the people who have their own lawyer do better. I mean, it costs more, but they do better, right?
Yeah.
But people that go in there with a private, with a public pretender, they go, oh, okay, just plead you out to this, plead you out to that. I've been there. You like, damn, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute.
Right.
I would have got me a lawyer. You told me this case wasn't nothing. I would have got a lawyer if they now you trying to plead me into something. What's going on? You know what I mean?
Always plead you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's all they do. I don't say that's all they do, but that's mostly what they do. I mean, at least when I was sitting there watching the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened to my son. I was like, damn, man, just clean the cat out. This cat ain't got nothing. This is no charge, basically. And they pleading time on them, dude. But they try to get those V's, man. Try to get those victories, man. So they just want the wins. So
a lot of them guys are running for office later on. So they
want to what?
They're running for office. So
exactly,
they're working at the public defender's office.
There.
I mean, the DA's office, and then so they don't even care if you're guilty or not.
Right.
They got to show a whole lot of case records of being, guilties. And that way, when they go run for governor or
right,
you're going to run for, they can say, "Oh, well, I used to work, be the DA, this, that, the third." That's what it is, and they don't, and they're using us as cannon fodder. So we're the fuel for their fire,
bro.
And nobody knows that. This is from the inside talking out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But brother D, I've seen it too, though. I gotta admit, I've seen it too. I've seen where one part, they went to a lawyer and they went to public defender. They went to him and they said, "Hey, you got to give us this one, and we'll give you the next two or whatever." I heard them. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to give us this one, and we'll get the next two. You can have the next two or whatever. And then the other person just say, "Okay, cool. We just plead you out, bam." You know what I mean?
Did you also know the district attorney has more authority than the judge sitting on the bench?
No. Wow.
He can walk in there and change the whole damn case.
Even after the judge has...
No, this is before. Because what happens is the attorneys go in the back. So you have, let's say you have an attorney defending yourself. He goes to the back, and then you had a DA come in. He goes to the back.
Right.
And they'll discuss the case, the opposing parties. And they'll present their information in front of the judge, and they'll come back out. And then the officers come in, whoever, the arresting officers and all that stuff. They've already decided the case before the damn floor.
Yeah.
But they just go through the motions.
Right.
And yeah.
That's terrible.
District attorney will definitely override a judge.
That's terrible, brother. I did not know that. See, man, you got so much info, bro. Hold on, let me see what your wife got to say. Sister G, it is just as it's always been the KKK campaign, aka America, until it's eliminated. Yeah, man. It's just the way they do business, and we gotta. That's why I need your husband to tell these youngsters how to get around this. Since you from the inside, what's that book, Spook, that sat on the porch or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be that dude from the inside coming out and say. And I don't know if you're familiar with that book, but it was a book about a dude that he went to the military. He was from the hood, man. He went to the military. He got all this knowledge and came back to the hood and broke it down for the people in the hood, man, so they could be better. You know what I mean? But I'm saying you are that person that can come back and break it down. And you don't necessarily got to go to the hood. We can have people on the Zoom calls that you can actually break this information down to, man, because a lot of our people, man, they don't know. They think these courts are fair, right? They think these courts are fair, man. They don't know, until they get in there.
What Denzel saying, Training Day, and by the way, Training Day reminded me when that movie came out of what I actually went through.
Oh, okay.
The narcotics unit, but
yeah,
it was just like that, but with the cops. But one thing he said about the courtroom, it's not whether you're guilty or not, it's what you can prove.
Right.
So that's what people need to understand. you can be innocent as hell and be found guilty, or you can be guilty as hell and be found innocent.
Right.
It's who you got representing you that determines what that's going to be.
Right.
So people are walking in there thinking they got a chance, and they really don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, bro, if you, it's like your first time you walking in. I think cats have been through this a couple of times. They kind of know what's going on. Right? They know what the deal is,
like
man.
they own the place. They like,
yeah, right. They already know.
High fives. And
the lawyers sit there to break it down to them. Like you said, the public defender already went in and had a meeting already and come back to them and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. They're going to say this. You're going to just agree to this. Just take this 2 years or take the year or whatever, right? They already worked it out, right?
Once you do that, let's say it's your first offense. If you go ahead and they talk you down to some bullshit offense, once you do that, you're fucked.
Right.
Because that's going to follow you for life. And you don't understand the ramifications.
Right.
Because they want you to plead.
Right.
And that's why you have a lot of brothers and sisters that have rap sheets.
Right.
That wind up like this.
Right.
But it's all bullshit.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you can't get a job.
Right.
You can't carry a gun. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Man.
But it was some shit that you did back in the day. The white kids, it doesn't happen.
Man, bro, I can tell you, at least happened at least 2 or 3 times, man. In my years of training, bro, I was trained people that came in to work for us, man. I was a trainer. So we would sit them down, man. We start working on them. And what they're supposed to do is background check before they even get the butt in the seat, right?
Right.
But because they would be behind, man, they would be behind. They'd let them go ahead and get in the class anyway. And sure enough, man, he would come in. He'd be the best person in the class, scoring the highest on the test, most respectful, answering all the questions, studying the homework, everything. He'd be the best person in the class, brother. And we have to kick him out because
shit came up on his record.
And his background, man. And we have to just let him go. And we be like, damn, man, that was the best dude.
Hold up.
We got to let him go.
It gets worse.
I love talking to you, man. I love talking to you, brother. Come on with it, brother D. Let's have it.
I shouldn't be saying this.
Okay, then watch yourself, brother. Don't get yourself in no trouble.
Right, I'm good.
Okay.
But I had this dude. I ain't gonna mention no names.
Okay.
But he was a notorious drug dealer.
Okay.
He is, right? So my brother had got on the police department after I did. I was in California. My brother was back home. And we had this, because my family used to throw parties and barbecues and stuff all the time. So everybody come over, get a grub, talk crap. And my brother walks in with this drug deal. And he was a cop.
Wow.
Working with my brother.
Wow.
I was just laughing. I was like, how in the hell they
Wow.
How in the hell did you get through all that bullshit? And you know, but back then they wasn't doing background checks.
Right.
You know, it wasn't as stringent as it is.
Right.
And all he could do was laugh.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, you know, same thing, man. You know, I was man, brother, back in the day, man, you know, I used to be in the street, brother. I mean, I used to be in the street. Final calls, bean pies, the whole nine, brother. I used to be all over LA. And so I met so many different people, man. And so one brother I met, man, he was in the Hebrew Nation. Brought me into the Hebrew Nation. He was like, you need to come with us with some real teaching. And I said, oh, okay, you know, you got something better than this, I'll listen. So I went there and I went through the whole order and everything, and they took me in, even though they would clown me because I was, Muslim and they were Hebrew, right? But I mean, it was all in fun. It was all in fun. They you know what I mean? See, it wasn't like they was aggressive with me or nothing like that. But they would, they let me in the meetings and everything, and I was, I went through their orders. So anyway, so I had lost touch with these brothers, man, right? Because I was doing all of that, and then the city came calling, right? So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me check this out. And so they had all the benefits that I was like, man, I can use these benefits on my children. So I took the job. This is years and years ago. So anyway, one of the dudes that I was rolling with, he was swole, man. I mean, I'm talking about swole. He was swole, Hebrew brother, man. And so anyway, he had gotten caught up in some drama. So we once I got hired with the city, I lost touch with a lot of people because I couldn't be out in the street like that anymore. So I had came in and I had to like only be out in the street on certain days because of course you're working every day, right? So anyway, so I lost touch with a lot of those brothers. So I see this brother about 15 years later. About 15 years later, I'm working on a project, and dude walks up to me. "What's up, brother?" I said, "What? What?" I said, "Where you been?" He said, "Oh, well, I got caught up in this and that. And so, I was in the belly of the beast for a minute." I said, "Oh, okay. What you doing now?" He said, "I'm a supervisor on this job. I'm a supervisor on this project right here." I said, "You are?" He said, "Yeah, I'm the supervisor." I said, "Really?" He said, so both of us started laughing. And I said, "How did you get around the background check and everything, right?" He said, "You know what you got to do, Clarence?" He said, "What you got to do is you just got to tell them up front. Don't let them come to you. You tell them up front what the situation
Disclose it.
Yeah, you let see. I don't know about other states, but in California, you only have to talk about stuff you got convicted for. So he said, so I told him, hey, I was young, this and this, and that. Man, he said, next thing you know, I got hired. Next thing you know, I got promoted. Next thing you know, because when you go through the city, it's probably the same thing with the police, but you have to interview for every promotion. Ain't just like, oh, you got it, boom, go. Yeah. You have to interview for everything. So he said that's how it happened, man. I just kept interviewing. I just kept telling my same story. You know what I mean? And so we need stuff like that, man, encouraging our brothers. Even though our brothers have done time, they can still get the benefits because this guy has 6 children. I only had 3 boys. He had 6. I don't know if it's all boys, but he had 6 children. Mm-hmm. And man, that healthcare, man, I think that healthcare, man, couldn't be beat, man. So we were definitely blessed to be able to walk into that, and still at the same time, we was doing our little stuff on the side, trying to, do this and that, because he was a very business-minded guy too. And so, I think at the time, him and a couple of his brothers, their Hebrew brothers, they was investing in properties in Texas at the time, because Texas was really taking off at the time. So they had a brother that actually, out of their group, that actually flew down there, got a place, and was buying properties in the name of all of them down there. So okay. it was working, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But my point is, like you said, man, just because a cat do some time don't mean he can't, turn his life around and move forward. You know what I'm saying? So
I've seen it done. I want to say something else. You may be aware of, since you were talking about the job situation.
Right.
And then I'm gonna go and deal with wifey.
Okay, brother.
If you apply for a job and they do a criminal history on you, they can only go back 10 years.
Okay.
Legally. They're not supposed to go beyond that. But what are they doing? They're getting slick.
You now, Brother D, let's be clear. Mm-hmm. Let's be clear, crystal clear. All right. Mm-hmm. You're saying that they can only go back 10 years on you on arrests or on arrest and convictions.
They're not supposed to see anything like from today to 10 years back on your criminal history on your police report. They cannot go beyond that. Legally, not supposed to go
consider
beyond
it. Wait a minute. They
that.
can't.
No, they are not legally allowed. They are breaking the law if they do anything beyond 10 years checking into your background. Beyond 10 years. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know that. Is that a federal
That's
thing?
federal.
Okay.
Nationwide.
Okay.
If you live in another country, I can't tell you what it is.
Right.
United States, and you apply for a job, the only people that can go beyond that is if you apply for a government agency,
okay,
or law enforcement, and they can go back to the day you were born.
Okay.
These jobs, they don't have the legal right to go beyond that.
Right.
Some of them are doing it anyway because they're little private companies that can go back and they'll pay them extra money.
Right.
And they'll deny you employment, especially if you're black.
Right.
Or they'll deny you this or deny you that.
Right.
And you'll never know.
Right.
Just think you got a background if you got something.
Right.
But what you didn't know is they can't go back no more than 10 years with the shit they talk about happened 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
That's why they're denying you employment or whatever benefits or whatever it is you're trying to get.
Right.
So nobody knows this because nobody talks about it.
Right.
I just told it to you.
man, I'm feeling you, man. I'm feeling you. You know what I'm saying? I see what, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Trying to think how to apply that.
That's very important information.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Because you could learn how to see, even a brother that's like, let's say you do got something on your background and you do want to work for a government agency, you can work someplace else, get you a lawyer, try to work on getting that cleaned up, and then apply for it. You know what I'm saying? But you would never know. You think, oh, I can't get a job here. I can't get a job nowhere. I got to go to the street and hustle. When you might not necessarily have to do that. That's some good info. See, brother,
I could talk a lot of stuff about the law. I could talk a lot of stuff about a lot of things. But like I said,
can you talk about how to get employed after having been in the belly of the beast? Can you talk about that? We need to do a show about that.
I can talk a little bit about it. Or I can.
I know you're not a lawyer, but
right, I can talk more about if you have a record, how to get it expunged. I can talk about that.
Done.
Depending on
when you want to do it.
That's up to you.
All right. That's
I mean, I had to check my schedule. You tell me what time is amenable to you.
It's either gonna be on a Saturday or a Thursday, brother.
Okay.
It's
what's the day? Today is what? Sunday?
Sunday. Today is Sunday. So you tell me whatever Thursday or Saturday you available.
All right, you
can do it.
On Thursday?
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give these people stuff that, man. See, everybody else is giving them gristle, brother. Let's give them some meat on the bone.
Yeah, I can talk a little about that. It won't take me long to talk about that either.
Okay.
But if there's other questions and I can answer them, then I will. If I don't have answers, I won't answer. I did go to law school, but I'm not a lawyer.
I understand. We're gonna set it up front.
Yeah.
Not legal advice. This is not legal advice. We're gonna set it up front.
I'm not an attorney.
Just like the lead attorney said, this is not legal advice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You should go and check this information out for you. So this is just information.
Right.
All right. This is my opinion. All right.
Okay.
All right, brother. I know you got to deal with your wife, man. So I'm not gonna hold you out of here, man. So I appreciate you. Bye, man.
Send me a text message. Let me know what's a good time because I have to wrangle through my calendar to see what the hell is going on this week. and but Thursday should be good. And
If not Thursday, whenever, brother. I mean, you know, I'm putting pressure on you to do it, not win, because I know.
I would just do it. Sooner the better, because I think a lot of people, especially with us, since we're getting incarcerated so much, we don't understand what's going on out here with these laws.
Right.
And it's different from state to state, county to county, this and that. But I can give you a general overview
Right.
of what you should know. If you're carrying a gun, you know, I could talk about that a little bit.
Right.
What happens if you are and you have one and a cop pulls you over? I could talk about that kind of stuff.
Man,
a lot of us are getting
that's what we need to know. Yeah, brother D, don't get us thrown out of here, brother D.
I try not to do stuff like that.
Man, thrown out of here. But that's what our people need to know. These young men, especially, man, right. Even the women now, they need to know what to do if they get pulled over, how to respond. And how to respond on certain questions, man. They need to know how to respond. So that maybe you can fuse that two together. You know what I mean? How to deal with the police, because I had put a presentation together on how to deal with the police in the field. But who's better, me or you? I mean, who's better to tell how to deal with me or you? All right. So I want you to. So let's shoot for. First, you're gonna tell them about how to, get your stuff right if it's shaky, and then the next thing is, okay, let's say before you even get to that point, how to handle being stopped in the field by the police. How to handle
not get locked up first.
Exactly. Okay. Well then, yeah, we'll flip them around. Okay, yeah. So how to handle that situation? How to not get shot or locked up. And then let's move forward from the other thing. All right, that sounds good, brother. Let me see what your wife's got to say, man. Sister G, pay to get your file sealed, but you're gonna pay. See, Sister G, I didn't even know you could pay to get your file sealed, but you're right. And your husband's gonna come back and tell us all about how to do all of that. Sister G, another fire live stream, brother. See, there's only fire from your husband. Your husband came in, lit it up on fire like he always does. But Sister G, I'm gonna stay on top of him because he got so much information to give. All he needs is somebody like me to stay on top of him, and he's got a river of information flowing out of him, man. All you just got to stay on top of him. I appreciate you, brother D, man. Thank you for coming through, bro. Appreciate you.
Man, always trying to show that support. Everything we can do.
Thank you, brother. You always got a seat here, man. I don't care if we get 10 billion followers, brother. You always got a seat here. You go to the front of the line, brother. And, God is going to help us do some real major work, brother. But I know you got your wife. Oh, what's that?
Did you get the email I sent you?
Which one?
I sent you one with some paperwork.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The document. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having problems with my printer right now, brother, but I'll print it up. Okay. I'll see what happens.
Just read it over. It is what it is.
Do I need to fax it to you, or what do I need to do? Sign it, or what do I need to do?
Yeah, it's going to have to be signed.
Okay.
But it is what it is. I'll have a call with you because I don't.
Okay, you walk me through it.
And, okay. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I just wanted you to at least read it.
I took a quick look at it. No doubt.
Like a lot of pages.
Yeah, I see it's 5 pages. Yeah. All right, man. I thank you, brother. I thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go be with your wife. I'm gonna cut out too in just a few minutes. So go ahead, brother. Be with your family. Appreciate you as always, brother D. Thank you so much here.
I will be
calling you. Okay.
Have a great one.
You too, brother. See you later, Sister G. All right. That was the man, brother D. He came in, obviously dropping jewels once again, dropping bombs on all of our heads. Good information. If you really want some good information and you want to just learn how to get in business, and have that unsecured lines of business credit to not have nothing to do with your personal credit, go and check out the live stream he and I did about unsecured lines of business credit. Absolutely bombastic. That's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of stuff you have to pay somebody $300 or $400 or $500 just to come in and sit in the office. Not let alone them actually breaking stuff down to you for 2 hours. They would just charge you just to come and put your butt in the chair. So go check that out if you really want to get some good information. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else we got to do. What's left? Let's see. We gave our final thoughts, so I'm gonna let that go. We got one more item on the line, and that is the old school set. It's called Sausalito by Grover Washington Jr. Check that one out. That's for us old heads, man. That's a nice little groove. Kind of song you could play in your car driving up the coast. All right. So hope y'all have a beautiful, blessed weekend. Remember, count your blessings, lick your wounds, but always count your blessings. All right. Till next time, I'll see y'all. Peace.